Choose LG HVAC systems. Innovative, efficient, and built to perform. And at J&B Supply, we're more than just a supplier. Since 1968, our family-owned business has provided HVAC and plumbing pros with the products, expert service, and hands-on training to get the job done right. Check out the buzz around LG's new game-changing equipment today. For over 50 years, HVAC and plumbing pros have trusted J&B Supply in Fort Smith, Springdale, and Bentonville. J&B Supply, where the professionals go.
Is it time for you to finally get the barn, hunting lodge, barn dominium, or garage you always wanted? Sutherland's is here to help. Hi, this is Jeremy, sales manager at Sutherland's. When you choose to work with us, you can expect top quality, expertise, and peace of mind, knowing that Sutherland's will do whatever it takes to get the building you've always wanted. For a free quote, call 1-800-66-BARNS. Free estimates at Sutherland's.com. For over 100 years, Sutherland's has been helping folks build it better. No matter the project, we're here to help. Because at Sutherland's, home starts here.
I want barbecue that's sliced thick, smoked long, and so tender it melts in your mouth. Sides that will fill me up like a twice-baked potato, baked beans, hand-cut fries, okra, Texas toast. You know what I'm talking about? A restaurant where the whole family can go and get a great meal for a great price. Where the owner actually comes to your table to make sure everything tastes great. I'll tell you what I want. I want Jerry Neal's.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, partial sunshine. Our high temperatures will be right around the lower 40s. There is a chance of some freezing fog, especially across the south. High temperatures across the south in the upper 40s. Another cold one will drop down into the 20s tonight. Partly sunny on Friday with a high in the 30s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Colorworks. Whether it's the weather or just life, call Andy at Colorworks Paint and Body for all your auto body repairs. Big or small, old or new, they are the choice for auto body repair.
KERX Paris Fort Smith, broadcasting live from the Busch Light Studios. This is the Morning Rush.
Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect you.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
Don't ask me if I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah.
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. Let's go, man.
I have zero respect for saying no moss at halftime.
They even one Razorback. It's vintage Matt Jones.
The Cinderella story is over, man.
Let's go.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
Good morning. Well, I made it. Made it into the capital city of Louisiana. Baton Rouge, nice and sunny today. Nowhere near as cold as it is all across our listening audience on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. Good morning, everybody listening in today. Phil Elson, Matt Jones in studio, and Christian Johnston alongside him. We got you for the next 3 hours. We'll be talking with Brett Dolan at 1:15, Dudley Dawson 12:30, and the bottom of this hour we'll start to get into some of our baseball stuff, previewing the baseball season. Trying to do it once a week on Thursdays. We'll have Razorback baseball coach Bobby Wernes joining us at 11:30. So, Matt, Christian, I know Clay yesterday as well. Thank you so much for taking the show over. Well, I had a little bit of car trouble. The car was fixed. It was a simple fix. And got to the Fayetteville airport with plenty of time to sit and wait for the basketball team to show up. And now we got a game tonight at 7 o'clock, Matt. And until then, I'm just going to hang out with you for a few hours. How's that sound?
Yeah, it's fun. And Grant Hall for hosting a segment, too, yesterday. So it was he ran a segment yesterday, so that was fun, too, a little bit off my plate. But, yeah, big shout-out to Clay Henry for, adjusting and adapting and coming on all three hours. And then I'm glad you're safe. I'm glad we're back to regular scheduled programming today.
Yeah, that's what it seems like it'll be until the foreseeable future. Well, at least until the next bout of car trouble when I got to meet a team to travel somewhere. Yeah, so much on this. How tired, Matt, are you of talking about finances in college sports? Isn't it a little bit tiresome now? Is it a little old to be kicking around the same? I mean, it's not the same story over and over again, but, I know as we've been doing this show, I think we enjoy talking more about the games on the field, on the court, previews, looking back on players' careers and all that kind of stuff. But the finances of college sports really are at the forefront, I think, of the topics that are meaningful right now. So
how much is Arkansas worth? Like, what's their? So here's something I guess that to get into, Phil. So all these, the Dallas Cowboys have a dollar figure out beside them, right? The Los Angeles Lakers have a dollar figure out beside them that say what their value is, how much the Denver Broncos just got sold for $4 billion. What is the University of Arkansas? What are they worth? Are they worth $1 billion?
No, I don't think it's $1 billion. I thought I saw. I like be a little nervous throwing just dollar figures out there, but I thought I'd seen something recently, and you wonder where this comes from because it's all graphics on social media and whatever. $600 million, I thought I saw. I mean, you got an operating revenue, according to Christina Long's article out of the Democrat Gazette from a couple of days ago, operating revenue of $196 million. Well, $195.9 million. I'm allowed to round up. Usually when I do like at a basketball game tonight, they say 496 shooting percentage. I'm just going to up that to 50%. So let's just say 195.5 million is 196 million. That's your operating revenue from fiscal year 2025 for all of Arkansas athletics. That's just the money that was brought in from ticket sales, from licensing, from I guess that's parking too. Concessions, from media rights, from Learfield, also from ESPN. The money generated just by the SEC, your NCAA units for making for making March Madness. There wasn't a bowl game. I'm sure there was a little bit of money that's thrown towards, the university because the baseball team gets as far as they do, that kind of stuff. All those revenues all add together to $196 million, which feels like that's a heck of a lot of money, doesn't it, too? For I think like 17 sports. And it's not enough to field a competitive football team, apparently. I don't think it is. Money isn't always the thing that is the deciding factor, but you can't always just be playing from behind in terms of those finances. So, that's this Board of Trustees meeting yesterday, and so many people. I had a back and forth with I think it was Roger in Danville a couple of days ago. Roger gets on it every couple of months. He is a not a Hunter Yurachek fan, let's put it that way, and points the finger at Hunter for all the decisions that involve Arkansas athletics that have to do with raising ticket prices, raising donation fees, and basically reseeding the football stadium the way that they did Bud Walton and the way that they did Baum Walker Stadium just a few years ago, less than really back 2 or 3 years ago. And it's all not enough. It's not enough because now they've got to throw an extra $15 million and figure out how to do this to get football to where it's, I don't know how to put it, Matt. Like, are you raising an added $15 million and just saying, well, just go do something with this and just don't be an embarrassment? Because it's unfortunate that that's what it's come to, because football has turned into an embarrassment, and I think that the Board of Trustees is feeling that, and they're the ones that are dictating. This money is going to go into football. You are dictated. Go find efficiencies in the form of maybe $6 million and added revenues to it, and go get football right is what that all seems to me, Matt. It's a complex thing, but it all has to do with one thing: get football right.
Yeah, we haven't been very competitive, and at times it's almost like they don't care to be competitive because they're making so much money. Like we won 0 games last year, but the football team was way profitable. Whatever word you want to use for it, that they paid for everything else was 0 wins. So you're looking at that, and it's like, well, we're good at other sports, and I don't even know if they're trying in football sometimes, honestly. At least we're getting back to recruiting some in-state kids. I know the last staff up there, they didn't care. We didn't even recruit Arkansas kids, so at least we're getting back that way. It'd be nice to be competitive. It'd be nice to win some games. It'd be nice to have a chance. But there's none of that. But they're making money, so I guess everything's okay.
I think when you bring up the idea of they're making money, it's who is making the money. And I've always gone back at this, and the main difference between college sports and pro sports is that there are no owners in college sports. It's the university. There isn't anybody that is pocketing a dividend from the $6 million I think that the athletic department basically cleared in terms of a surplus, but coaches' salaries, administrator salaries, all of that. That's the people, I guess, that you could say are making the money. They've already slashed, 10%, something like that. Some of the high-dollar administrators, that happened half a year ago. Feels to me that may happen again. If you've got this $15 million plan that the Board of Trustees has, and I'm going to say the term forced through, and this is another aspect of this that is troubling. I don't know how. And this happens in Congress. This happens in the halls of government all across our country, in various states, and in the national capital, where Congress people are asked to vote on a proposal that they haven't had a chance to read yet. I don't know how you actually run. It's not a business in this case, because that's sort of like politics when you're putting something in front of a board and say vote on this. And Hunter Yurachek didn't even see this plan according to the article 2 from Matt Jones. It's flooring. But it does seem to me, Matt, that hey, you're a Razorback, okay? Let me just ask a simple question. When it comes to football, are you embarrassed?
Yes.
Well, that's what I feel from the Board of Trustees.
I talked to DeCorey Birmingham 3 years ago. He went up there to that UAB game, I believe. Last time I talked to him. And he was just floored of how weak it was. The atmosphere's not there. Nobody cares. It's just something to do. It's like they don't even care. It's very embarrassing. If you're associated with the Razorback football program over the last 5 years, you should be embarrassed. I mean, you're not good at your job.
Right. And it isn't just this last season. It isn't even just, Sam's tenure as the head coach. It isn't even just Chad Morris's 2 years. It's going all the way back. We don't even have to get into it, but the length of time. This is going all the way back to 2012, where Arkansas has really been now the Indiana of the former Indiana of the Big Ten. It's unfortunate, and this is not a football program that should be in that position.
We're the Purdue Boilermakers, right? Right. That's what we are. In Big Ten football, we're Purdue. That's how bad it is. It's as bad as I remember it being. I guess you had the Jack Crow. You had a couple years after Hatfield that were a little bad. Last decade or so has been as bad as I can remember it ever being up there on the hill.
And
when it comes to being competitive, right? Like when it comes to having a chance to win games and being competitive, it's not there.
And men's basketball is a point of pride. Not just because of fun they are to while they're performing this year, but because you're able to attract a Hall of Fame coach just on name alone. Getting John Calipari here says something about Arkansas basketball overall and the way that it's viewed. Baseball, we all know where baseball is as well. And if the dollar figures here about baseball really losing over $3 million, which I'm a little dubious on that. I can't point to dollar figures on this and that or everything, but I do know that when it comes to public financial statements, there are ways to move dollar figures around to make certain things look a way that you might want it to look. I'm a little dubious on baseball losing $3.1 million. But with that said, none of those things are an embarrassment, but it's still at the point where football is an albatross around the university. An albatross dragging it down.
But they're making money, yeah.
They're making money, and you'll always make money in football because of the media rights fees. Because, your stadium is almost sold out every single game anyway. The ticket is sold. You're going to make money. Who cares about that? I honestly, when I look at an athletic department and I would look at this and say, do these folks who are over football really care that they're actually making money? Do they see any real return upon that? Or are they embarrassed that they are running a football program that gets laughed at nationally? To me, that's the thing that you would wear. It's a point of pride. I got into sports broadcasts because I love doing baseball games. I do it out of love. The people who work in sports, truthfully, what did they start as? They started as sports fans. It is a way to make money, absolutely. But I think you also get into it because you like being a part of a winning organization. It's fun to win. It's fun to be a fan of a team that wins. It's even more fun to be part of an organization that is that team that's winning those games. So, I mean, I appreciate the idea of we're making money, and all that, but you're not going to keep your jobs if you're not winning in football, if you're going 2-10, 0-8. And that's what this seems to be about. And everything's changing in the finances. Just the idea that there won't, at least for the time being, they say pause, but this won't ever go back. No more allocation from the athletic department to the university. I mean, kind of feels like a little bit antiquated that was going on to begin with in these last 3, 4, 5, 6 years. So it's just a lot to wrap your mind around. It goes along with the financial picture from fiscal statement 2025. And oh, by the way, there's a basketball game on Saturday, Matt, that everybody I think it's like, what's more interesting? What's more interesting? The future of Arkansas football and really the future of Arkansas athletics overall is really wrapped up in this conversation about the Board of Trustees meeting and an added $15 million. But you know what's right in front of us, Matt? Arkansas versus Kentucky on Saturday night, and I think that might be a little bit more fun.
Yeah, I mean, that's about what it costs to get this basketball team together, about $15 million. At least we're putting money into to something. At least we're good in something. Like I try to be thankful. I try to have a good attitude. Is it embarrassing? Yeah, it's embarrassing. The football team is. But, the baseball team's good. The track team's good. The women's softball team's good. The men's basketball team's good. I mean, there's a lot up there that's going well. But it is. This state's a football state. They when the football program is rocking, man, you can feel the vibes. You can feel the atmosphere change when that football team is doing their thing. And maybe it's just who knows how much longer we have to wait. Maybe we made the right hire and he's going to get things turned around and as far as Coach Silverfield, but I don't know. I'm excited about this basketball game. I don't think $15 million is going to fix the football team all of a sudden, but yeah, I'm excited about the basketball game.
I think in terms of football, it's like, well, it's a multi-pronged step. You got to get the right coaching staff in there. They got to identify the right players, and you have to pay them a commensurate salary if you're going to keep them around if they're any good. And that's kind of what this whole added $15 million is about. So that's where we'll start today. And again, the show will include 3 guests, and we're getting in a little more baseball because baseball's, what is it now, 15 days away? Bobby Warren is coming up 11:30, Dudley Dawson 12:30, Brett Dolan 1:15. So we can open up the Lewis Automotive hotline for you in the next segment. Calls or texts about anything with this college athletics financial picture. This also points to me, Matt, at some point, I don't know. It does drive the point home at some point. Football's going to be separating away from the other sports at some point, and I'm just not sure. All those other programs that you just mentioned, track and field, volleyball, swimming and diving, gymnastics, if they're even going to exist any longer. 877-377-6963, our Lewis Automotive Group hotline. We'll be back in just a moment. This is Halftime.
Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years. Since 1946, no pressure, no hassle, just tradition. The celebration starts now. This is the Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
Grant wants to know if it's worth smoking a brisket for Saturday.
The worst brisket ever had was pretty good, and there's never a bad day for that. And at 3 o'clock, that means you could put it on before you go to bed Friday night. It'd be ready.
Is that not a scary thing? Because I know people that leave a crock pot on and various other things.
Well, no, you get up in the middle of the night, you check it. Okay. If I'm cooking a serious brisket, I'm probably not going to sleep well that night.
Only on ESPN 95.3.
Ribs. I want the ribs.
People can get pretty particular about their ribs, and at New Myers Rib Room, they can too. Do you want to join an awesome team and serve mouth-watering championship-level ribs where the best brews and tunes flow? Come to work at New Myers Rib Room in historic downtown Fort Smith at 5th and Garrison.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Taco Bell's new Lutz Value Menu has so much Lutz, it's starting to go to people's heads. I'm the Lutzierge.
Which is the mini taco salad fork?
Here to help them cope. So when you try the mini taco salad, beefy potato loaded griller, or chips and nacho supreme dip, enjoy the Lutz. Just don't let it go to your head.
Yeah, bring the car around.
You know there's no valet.
Then who's getting the car?
Taco Bell's new Lutz Value Menu. 10 extravagant indulgences, all $3 or less.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge, and when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
Does your Razorback closet need an upgrade? The University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you're looking for, only at Roback.com. They've custom designed the best hoodies, polos, and Q-zips for your school. Go check out this and more at Roback.com, and don't forget to use our link for 20% off. Use code RUSH25 at checkout on Roback.com for 20% off your first order. That's RHOBACK.com. 20% off all hoodies, joggers, and more with Rush 25. Roback, where action meets comfort.
Get 20% off on your first order with the code RUSH25.
There's nothing better than hitting a bet unless your whole crew hits it with you. That's what MyBookie's all about. Are you ready for the next 2 weeks of the NFL? We're hooking you up with 2 can't-lose locks of season. Bet up to $10 per lock and double your money when they hit. Select the Lock of Season tab in the sportsbook. Wager up to $10 per lock. Double your money on 4 bets that can't lose. Don't forget about the Bet Back bonus. Go to MyBookie now, punch in code HOGS, and get your first bet covered up to $500. If you don't hit on the first bet, just use your Bet Back bonus token and run it back. Must opt in to use the Bet Back bonus.
Dad, the driver looks dirty. Ew, yucky, Daddy.
Hey, don't worry, boys. That's what we do best. At My Dreams Mo Wash, we make homes, businesses, and even big industrial spaces shine like new.
So you can clean houses and big buildings?
That's right. Residential, commercial, or industrial. No job's too big or too small. Call My Dreams Mo Wash today at 479-763-5561 or visit mjmowash.com.
My Junior's Mobile Wash. One call cleans it all.
David Bowie got more fame with his #1 hit titled Fame. John Lennon co-wrote and sounded some of the high notes. The last line in the first verse sums it up. Fame puts you there where things are hollow. John 12:43 tells us that many people rejected Jesus because they loved the fame of people more than the praise of God. Is it any wonder you get more fame by rejecting the name of Jesus? I'm Pastor E from Woodland. Think about it.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit could save you up to $600 off your tax bill.
6963 Lewis Automotive Group hotline, calls or texts. Chris says, football is to an athletic department what steaks are to a steakhouse. Can't survive if the steaks aren't any good. All right. Do you ever order anything that's not a steak at a steakhouse, Matt?
Yeah, from time to time, but it's 80% you go there to get a steak, but sometimes you might go there because what's their special? What's the chef cooking? You know, do they have some type of chicken parm, some type of fish, some type of appetizers? But yeah, if you go to a steakhouse, I would say I'm 8 out of 10. I'm gonna order a steak.
All right. Well, there's about 17 different things on the menu at Razorback Athletics, at the Razorback Football House. Let's put it that way. Does football have to be good for the athletic department to be successful? You know, there's these whole Learfield standings in which Arkansas routinely is top 10, top 15, top 20, and that's with the albatross of football in these last 15 years. A 15-year run that has been sort of generational for baseball in some cases. You know, basketball, it took a little bit to get where, Muss took him to the Elite Eight, and now, you feel like basketball's in a good position. But I'm not at this place where it's like you feel like if you're going to raise money for football, is that necessarily taking money away from the other sports? Or again, if you're looking at two of the other sports that do generate more revenue, I think they're in a pretty good place when it comes to NIL. Is anybody complaining about the funds that are available for Cal to put this team together? And I think there's a little bit more heavy lifting for the coaching staff to do on the baseball side, but they seem to be pretty just fine at putting a baseball team together compared to the other heavyweights of the SEC. So I don't have a problem with trying to throw some added money at football and and seeing if it sticks. You know how it's going to stick, Matt. It's going to stick if Ryan Silverfield and his new coaching staff and the guys that are the personnel department, guys Crowley and all of them, that $15 million will help if they're good at their jobs, right? If they can identify proper players, if you can coach them the right way, maybe get a few of these kids to stick around for 3 or 4 years and develop while they're there. That's how it sticks.
It's a tough job. Don't get me wrong. It's not an easy job to be the head football coach there at Arkansas, especially when you're playing behind. You're not playing with the same amount of money everybody else is. But there's an art to evaluating talent. Houston Nutt could evaluate talent. You look all across the landscape of sports, and you have to be able to evaluate. Pat Riley, another guy that could evaluate talent. And the thing I think we get a little bit lost in is it's easy. I've been on the sideline since I was 2 years old. My dad's a coach. I can tell. It doesn't take me long, to see. It's easy to figure out the top 3%, the top 5%, the top guy. You're like, oh, that dude can play. It's a little bit more difficult to round everybody else to, hey, we got to figure out another 80% of the guys that we got to figure out if they can go or not. But it's easy to identify some studs, some guys that, hey, that dude can go. No, it didn't take long for everybody to identify Darius Acuff Jr. was a stud. But it took a little bit for Malik Thomas to get going. It took a whole year for Billy Richmond and Carter Knox last year. They got going around the tournament. You got to be able to see, okay, I can project and I can tell what that player is going to do. And some people are really good at it, and some people struggle at it. And there's a lot of things that go into it, not just on floor, on court, on field performance. I think you heard Coach Cal talk about this a month ago. Like sometimes they break up with their girlfriend. Sometimes they don't have a good grade in one of their classes. I don't know if that's a thing anymore if these kids go to class, but that's some people usually that can. So there's all these emotions that go into it as well. So yeah, it's tough to identify talent and to see how it's going to come together. And can you get high character guys? That's one thing about Dave Van Horn, and I think we brought this up a week or so ago. Like, man, he gets a lot of guys and none of them get in trouble. You know, you think about DVH up there. He gets a lot of yes sir, no sir guys, and he hits. Now you miss on a couple of them. Like I said, when I was up there, Coach Nutt would get 25 freshmen would come in, and there's about 5 to 7 kids that will never play. Same thing. You miss on a couple of them, but man, DVH knows how to recruit talent. He knows how to go and maybe it's a destination school, so that helps. It doesn't mean Silverfield can't identify talent, but if nobody wants to come to your school, then you got to go get some. You know, I think so. That's Coach Calipari, the same thing. He doesn't miss on a lot of those freshmen. You know, like you think about all the freshmen that come in and play well through his last 20 years. I bet you he hits on about 8 out of 10 of them. You know, he's missed on a couple of them, but he hits on a lot of those.
He's also pretty good at making sure that they're going to stay there for most of the time that they're in college. That's the same with Dave. They don't lose a lot of their good players, whether you're going to build the program off of. Football has lost some of those players in the last few years as well. All right, and speaking of baseball, we got Bobby Wernes coming up in just a moment. We're going to bring on a member of the staff or a Razorback player Thursdays, at least for the foreseeable future, with less than 2 weeks before. Well, it is 2 weeks, almost a little more than 2 weeks, like 2 weeks and a day before the baseball season starts. So we'll actually start talking about some stuff on the field with Bobby Wernes in just a moment. This is Halftime.
I'm just telling you right now, it's not going to be easy. So if you're looking for an easy route, go to a team that we're playing next year, and we'll beat your ass.
This is Halftime.
At the Bet Saracen Sportsbook app, we realize lots of you have thought about opening an account, but you just haven't made that move yet. Well, now's the time with our new player offer. It's easy. You just sign up, use the code WELCOME, deposit at least $25, place a $25 bet, and that's it. Once that bet settles, you'll have $125 in free bets ready to go. Bet Saracen, the most popular sportsbook app in the state. Download it today on all your devices. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Every great team has its core players, but when the season gets tough, adding the right free agent can make all the difference. The same goes for business. At Robert Half, we found that 67% of companies surveyed plan to increase their use of contract talent to handle workload peaks and backlogged projects. With Robert Half's specialized recruiters experience, combined with their award-winning AI, you can quickly find the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, we know talent. Discover how we can help at roberthalf.com/talent.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. For a successful stint in the great outdoors, pack accordingly. Place heavy essentials near your spine for stability in rough terrain, with light items near the bottom. Now, you may be wondering, where does the Bush Light go? In your stomach. Head for the mountains. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2023 Anheuser-Busch Busch Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit could save you up to $600 off your tax bill.
This ad sponsored by the Sebastian County Assessor and paid for by Amendment 79.
Every great team has its core players, but when the season gets tough, adding the right free agent can make all the difference. The same goes for business. At Robert Half, we found that 67% of companies surveyed plan to increase their use of contract talent to handle workload peaks and backlogged projects. With Robert Half's specialized recruiters experience, combined with their award-winning AI, you can quickly find the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, we know talent. Discover how we can help at roberthalf.com/talent.
Has your spouse suddenly entered the transfer portal, going from a franchise player to a prima donna ready to take the money and run? Don't let her get away with a huge buyout. Be proactive. Call Mock Legal Solutions today to ask about custody, alimony, and child support. 479-769-1505. Because even in divorce, the best offense is a good defense. Mock Legal Solutions, real advice, reasonable price.
I think we should start seeing other people.
Hey, it's Todd Richardson. We're here at Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, 508 Garrison Avenue, downtown Fort Smith with Rachel. Rachel, tell our audience why we love coming here on Thursday.
We have a great crowd, great sports, buckets for 15, good vibes, good atmosphere. Can't beat it.
Rachel, we're here every Thursday. Do you ever get tired of it?
You have your times, but you keep coming back, so we put up with you.
Well, we appreciate it. 508 Garrison Avenue in downtown Fort Smith. It's Papa's Pub and Pizzeria. What do we always say?
It's the best darn pizza in Fort Smith.
Perhaps the world.
Winter in Arkansas means more adventure and more savings when you stay at Arkansas State Parks. Book now for 15% off your next stay at a state park lodge or cabin. Just use code WINTER15 at arkansasstateparks.com now through February 3rd to save 15% on your stay. Brought to you by Arkansas State Parks, the station, and the Arkansas Broadcasters Association. Some restrictions apply. Visit the website for more details.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Hey girls, gather around. Listen to what I'm putting down. Hey baby, I'm your handyman.
Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years. Since 1946, no pressure, no hassle, just tradition. The celebration starts now. Now let's get back to Halftime with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Arkansas football legend Matt Jones.
Oh, I don't know about you guys, but when I look at the weather reports and I see 6-degree temperatures tomorrow, first thing I start thinking about is baseball. And, of course, it's always great to be talking Razorback baseball here on Halftime. Go to our Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Bobby Warren is joining us, former Arkansas third baseman and longtime member of the coaching staff now. And Thursday, indoor practices, indoor scrimmages. Bobby, I got a chance to watch one of those on Friday, and let me just tell you, that's just a little bit different from usually watching a game.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about the outfield. Shoot, it's like arena baseball. It's kind of how we joke about it. Yeah, it's a little different, but we were kind of joking around about it. It'd be fun for like some fans to get in there and see it for a little. I mean, there's nowhere to sit, but it is kind of a fun thing to do while, I mean, I'm looking out my window right now. The field's still covered in snow. But we're lucky. We're lucky we got that building, and we can more or less not miss a beat. So, yeah, we're fortunate in that respect.
Matt, in practices, you know, when you're running routes against somebody, were there coaches there to call penalties and stuff like that?
Yeah, there's always somebody there. Kind of, I mean, that's just part of. They're usually talking about your technique. You know, they make it into a coaching way. Yeah, don't be so handsy. If the D-back's grabbing, learn to move your feet, bend more. So it's usually in a coaching type of environment. But yeah, absolutely.
It's so funny in these indoor scrimmages. If there's a fly ball, everybody immediately looks behind home plate, behind the net. Matt Hobbs is there, and he's got all the information as to the launch angle and the exit speed of the ball, and he's the decider as to whether something is a base hit or an out. And, Bobby, I thought I was to see some arguments on Friday. Why weren't there any?
I think maybe you got it on a good day, because there's certainly some arguments, especially I think there's maybe some inherent bias from the pitching guy. Maybe the ball doesn't fly quite as well for that. I'm just messing around. It's funny. There have been some blow-ups certainly in years past. I can remember I think this was Brady Slavin's, I think it was his first year. It was in 2021 when we had that big old ice storm. And we'd scrimmaged in there maybe 10 or 11 times leading up to that Globe Life deal. And he was real upset about a home run being taken away from him. And so we kind of still joke about that to this day, really. But it's, I think the guys do a good job. We just kind of tell them when it hits the top of the net, you just jog a second and we'll tell you to stay there or to keep going.
If I remember, I think Brady might have responded by hitting Arkansas's only home run in Arlington when the season started, too. I'm pretty sure he hit the only home run. But even though
I think it was a 3-run Jimmy John against Texas. I think you hit it to the bullpen in right center, if I remember right.
Yes,
but you
he
got
did.
a better memory than I do. You would know better than I would.
Well, only for some things, Bobby. Maybe not everything. But when we think of Arkansas baseball, and just thinking for last year, and it's just so funny because the 2 years prior, everybody's up in arms that the team's struggling to score and leaving a lot of guys on base. That wasn't an issue at all last season. It just feels like, I know there's a lot of really good hitters that have come in. Last year is a tough barometer to try to reach for when it comes to your offensive numbers, but it does look like you guys have some hitters who were really accomplished at where they were playing previously, and then of course you're also expecting continued growth from Ryder Helfrich, continued growth from Nolan Souza, Reese Robinette, and those returners. But the bats look like they still ought to be really dangerous this year.
I think that's certainly the hope and the plan, and I think last year's group was really special, really fun to be around. But I mean, we're trying to be better than last year's group. So I think that's kind of what we're working towards. Because I mean, shoot, if we're better than last year's group, I think we'll be playing a long time into June. But no, you're exactly right. We hit on a lot of transfers last year, and I think it kind of goes back to the makeup of the kids. They were hungry. They really wanted to get better. They wanted to play in the big leagues for a long time. And I think when you get the right kid to come to this place, I think this place just kind of amplifies your skills really across the board. If you're the right kid, if you're driven. And I mean, I'm thinking of Charles Davalon, maybe the poster child of that. And I'm up in my office right now, kind of looking down into our weight room, and we've got some pro guys lifting. I'm watching Logan Maxwell right now. I mean, that was a guy who was at a really good program in TCU, and was a really good player. He had 2 home runs, I think, the previous year, and he was a double-digit home run guy for us last year. And again, he's just a really driven guy. So I'd like to think that we kind of have that again with some of the guys we brought in. They're really driven. They're serious about baseball, and just the resources that we're fortunate enough to have. Again, it can just kind of amplify your skills across the board.
I want to. You work with the catchers. You know, obviously, and you work with infielders as well in some places. When it comes to your catcher, I've felt so good about Arkansas in terms of catching for just a long time, going all the way back to Grant Cook in 2017, all those guys. I don't know if I've ever felt better about the catching position for the Razorbacks than I do this year. And it's because I think Ryder Helfrich is the best catcher in the nation. And I think that's not a secret, unless you're at perfect game, apparently. But is this Ryder's team? I mean, it's tough to put it on one guy. Like last year there was Vahiva, he won the Golden Spikes, but it wasn't just his team. There's guys like Cam Kojal, but you got veterans that are really ready to lead. And like watching Ryder grow from a freshman where he didn't get on the field very much to last year where second half just exploded, it feels like the sky's the limit for him.
Yeah, no, I think that's an interesting point about, like, is it his team or is it not? I think the kind of a cool thing about this group is I think it's his team to a degree in that he's the most important position on the field. He's a third-year guy. You know, he's got skins on the wall. I don't think it has to be his team. Like, I don't think he has to do anything special to, I think he's just kind of an inherent leader, and I don't think that there's anything phony about him and in terms of his leadership qualities. So I don't think there's any sort of, now it's my junior year. Now I really got to do something else. Like, I think if he's the same guy as he was last year from like a personality and leadership perspective, we'll be great. I think that there's a couple guys on that side of the ball. I think Cam as well, Kojal as a leader, guys look to, and Kahio and his or Aloy rather, and his in his goofy Hawaiian self. I think that there's some leadership there too. So I think there's 3 right off the bat that, I don't think it has to, the leadership burden doesn't have to just fall on one of their shoulders.
What's different from being a goofy Hawaiian from a goofy Kansan, Bobby? You being the latter.
I don't want to say that on the radio. I'll get in trouble.
Probably a good idea. I appreciate the honesty with that. I want to ask, so if you look at the infield, it is a veteran group all the way around. Even TJ Pompey, if he's at third base, it's going to be his first year at Arkansas, but third year college baseball. He's been around. except for Carson Brumbaugh, if he is the starting shortstop. And I guess indications sort of point that will be the case. Would you be able to start a freshman at shortstop, as good as he might be, if you didn't have such, not just veterans, but guys that have been, major part of the programs for the last year to 2 years at so many of those other important positions there? Because everything you hear about Brumbaugh is this guy's ready to go, but being a freshman shortstop in the SEC, that's not easy to pull off.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good point you bring up about kind of veterans around the position. And quite frankly, I mean, you were watching us on Friday, or last Friday rather, and we have veterans that can play shortstop too. But Coach Van Horn, he's not shy about it. He is very much up front. The best players play. And so if we deem that Carson Brumbaugh is the best shortstop come February 13th, he's gonna jog out there against Oklahoma State. And I think it's right there for him. So that's a guy. We recruited him for a long time in high school, and that was a long process. And I guess I just bring that up I feel like we're more familiar with him than a traditional freshman. Just the recruiting process was long. He was highly recruited, and it's almost like it feels like he's a sophomore, junior, just in terms of our relationship with him. But no, he's made of the right stuff. He had a choice. He could have started his professional career early. Wanted to go to school. Wanted to do this for 3 years. And we kind of feel like that's how you win big. If you can get the high profile freshman to school, and you get him in the program for 3 years, that's how you win big. So Brumbaugh checks all of those boxes, and I mean, playing as a freshman is really tough, no matter what position. And obviously, shortstop is just about as tough as anywhere. So, I mean, he'll have his lumps, but I think we feel really good about him.
You like what you've seen from the arms? I know you're not coaching the pitchers, but you're watching these guys, and just in terms of depth of stuff, lefties, righties, looks like Matt's got a really good staff. Just a couple thoughts on what you've seen from the pitchers so far.
Yeah, so it's always weird when we have our inter squad scrimmages, because myself obviously being an offensive guy, you're rooting for your guys. You want to see us blitz some balls. You want to see us tough to punch out, tough to strike out, whatever. But at the same time, if the hitters are just absolutely dominating these inter squads, you kind of start scratching your head and you go, shoot, can we pitch? And I think there's been a really good balance of, hitters having a day, pitchers having a day. When you were in there on Friday, I mean, and I made a comment to Matt about it. It's just the amount of guys getting their spin balls, their curveball sliders, whatever you want to call it, to the glove side, at that corner pocket. It was just like on repeat. They did a tremendous job. So I was kind of looking around. If these are some of the arms that we're rolling out, and this is who they're going to be in about a month from now, I mean, we should be in a really good spot. So that's kind of a long-winded answer. I think I do like our kind of like you said on the position player side. I think we have plenty of veterans that have some skins on the wall with also some freshmen we feel good about, and some transfers, and it takes all of them, and you never have enough pitching. You never do. So I think that just the amount of options we have at this point, it excites me.
Bobby mentioned I was at the Friday scrimmage until I found out that the basketball game Sunday was canceled, so I got home as quickly as I could before the snow hit. But I was there long enough, Bobby, and I don't think Dave would mind at least me just saying, because I did bring it up the next day I was on the show. Friday was a little bit tense inside the Fowler Center. And usually guys are really focused and everything like that, and I just felt a little bit of tension, not in a bad way. It's just you can feel that it's not that they're nervous or anxious about anything, but I think the guys inside that building understand how tough the competition is right now to get at bats when the season starts.
Yeah, no, and I think something that Coach Van Horn's really good at, and he's not afraid to apply the pressure to the guys. So he'll kind of stand up and he'll blitz the group. He'll blitz someone if he kind of deems that's what's necessary to push a scrimmage forward. And it is tough in the indoor. Just it can get stale. You're playing the same team, or you're playing your same teammates over and over again. There's no outfield. It can get stale. So I think we try really hard to liven it up, to do whatever we can to kind of break up the monotony of it. And so sometimes when Coach Van Horn chooses to turn it up a little bit, there's it's kind of a refocus, so to speak. But we do all sorts of things to just try our best to mix it up in there to just, again, break up the monotony. So I think we're excited to play somebody else, and thankfully we do have a little bit more time to button some stuff up on our end. But February 13th, it'll be here soon.
Sure will. Hey, last thing before you go. So there's 6th degree. Bobby was a Razorback ball player in the 2 years that when the Fowler Center was being built and when it opened. So he was on the last team that didn't have the Fowler Center. Then he's on the first team that had the Fowler Center. What would it be like on a 6th degree day where it's 2 weeks before the season without the Fowler Center? Where do you practice?
Oh, shoot. I think we would have gone to the football indoor whenever we could squeeze in there. We had those old cages. Honestly, I'm sure they've been repurposed for something else. They're on the third base concourse. They may be storage now or something. So we'd have 2 cages up there so you could hit a little bit. But if you were ever doing team defense, handling the ball, it was going to be in that football indoor. And obviously it's built for football, so the walls, and I don't exactly remember. I think they were, at the time, the walls were white, so it's a white ball on white walls, so it's a little bit dangerous to that degree. So yeah, you had to keep your head on a swivel. That was in the right before the 2014 season. And then when that Fowler was built, I think it was ready to rock at the start of that 14 fall going into the 15 season. So that obviously that made it a lot easier on us. First and foremost, from like a scheduling perspective, we didn't have to dance around football or anything. We had our own space where we could get in. So yeah, that's what I remember. I remember the white ball on the white wall, and it was really hard to see.
Bobby, we'll leave it there. I appreciate your time. Looking forward, of course, to the season starting, but I'm just looking forward to being back out there with you guys sometime next weekend and watching. Hopefully you guys practice outdoors where baseball is meant to be played. Thank you.
No doubt. You and me both. Get some shovels and find a way to do it.
Bobby Warnes, Razorback baseball coach, joining us here in halftime today. Always appreciate him. And we'll be back in just a moment to wrap up hour number 1. This is Halftime.
I want to say first off that you are the best caller of baseball, and I've listened to a lot of radio out there. I just want to say, you are fantastic at what you do.
This is Halftime. Back at Harry Robinson's Saddlesaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Saddlesaw. You have a limited time through the end of the month to get in for the down payment assistance program. You won't find this special help at any other dealership. Tens of thousands of dollars in this program set aside for buying right now.
Yes, it definitely is. And Tommy, here's the deal. There's customers that come in here and, we possibly can't get a deal done unless we have, $1,000, $1,200, $1,500 down. Well, now you have a qualified buyer. So come down here and see us. Harry Robinson, Saddlesaw Ford, for the down payment assistance program. Right now really is the time to buy. Like I said, if you got pushed on the back burner and you were at a dealership and they told you couldn't buy, you needed $1,000 down. Well, here at Harry Robinson Saddlesaw Ford, we got the down payment assistance program going on now until the end of the month. So come down here and see us. Harry Robinson Saddlesaw Ford. You're not going to find a better deal on a new or pre-loved vehicle.
Harry Robinson Saddlesaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Saddlesaw. Online at harryrobinson.com.
At Arkansas Oklahoma Gas, we understand that cold weather months are about staying warm, keeping life running smoothly, and focusing on what truly matters. We also know that higher heating bills during this season can create stress, and we're here to help ease that burden. From a variety of payment options designed to fit your needs to assistance programs that provide extra support, our team is dedicated to helping you stay comfortable and worry-free all season long. Our customer care team is just a call away, or you can explore helpful resources online at aogc.com/winter. We're here for you this winter.
Valley Family Dental, at the entrance to Riley Farms, provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, same-day crowns, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients a better life with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A, at the entrance to Riley Farms. Let them know you heard this on ESPN Radio and receive $300 off a snore guard. Valley Family Dental, 479-226-3500 for an appointment, or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
Texting enrolls you in recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text. Text
AREA to 42424 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text AREA to 42424. That's AREA to 42424.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
When I wake up
The best mornings
in the morning light,
start with Wrangler.
pull on my jeans and I feel alright.
Jeans, jackets, and shirts that get your day started on the right foot.
I pull my blue jeans on. I pull my blue jeans on.
Good mornings make for better days.
Pull my blue jeans on. I pull my blue jeans on.
Wrangler, for the ride of life.
Dozy Place has been serving award-winning steaks for over 20 years, and now they're offering smoked prime rib on the weekends. It's a limited supply, so get your reservations in early. Try one of their delicious appetizers or your choice of drinks from the area's largest selection of wine, beer, and liquor. Dozy Place open Tuesday through Thursday 5 to 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended. Follow them on Facebook for more upcoming features and events. Call 479-784-9111 for Dozy Place, 422 North 3rd Street in Fort Smith.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963.
Hey, you get closer. The lights are going dim. Sound of your breathing has made the mood I'm in. All of my resistance on the floor. You're taking me to places I've never been before.
Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Okay, Matt Jones, we're wrapping up hour number one of halftime here. The NFL teams fine players for, breaking rules, things like that, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
What happened?
Baseball teams do.
Well,
Deion Sanders is fining Colorado players. Did you ever get fined in college?
I didn't make any money in college, Phil.
There you go. You didn't have any money to get fined for. What are you going to do? It's like what Rocky Balboa said. Sue me for what? It's not like you were making anything.
That's right.
Deion's got a list of fines.
It's zero.
That's exactly right. You get $400 fine for showing up late to a meeting or a film session. Fines anywhere from $400 up to $5,000 based on severity. So what do you think? What do you think is the thing that gets you the most in trouble in terms of a fine?
What is it? No show, no tell type thing? Like, does that get you in the most trouble?
Fumbling.
Like when you just don't show up, but you don't even call anybody and don't tell? No show, don't tell was.
They need to find players who fumble the ball.
The biggest fine is for public or social media misconduct. Now, it would be that public misconduct. That's acting like a jerk, out in a crowd or something like that. Social media misconduct. You'll get in more trouble for social media misconduct than you will get for just missing a practice.
You know what country has the most arrests based on social media posts? No, it's not America.
China?
England. They've arrested. So, because to me, I've told you this. You have a screen name for social media. Why would you ever use your real name in social media? It doesn't make. You're not liable.
Why would you ever use your real name at Starbucks?
You're not exactly. You're not liable for this. What is all this people that they think this is real? It's social media is a fantasy life.
We go into hour number 2. It won't be a fantasy. It'll be the real thing. 877-377-6963 is the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, and we are right back.
Stay warm and dry this winter with Byrne and Carhartt winter workwear. Muck, dry shod, and extra tough rubber footwear to keep those toes dry. Winter clearance racks are full of casual and hunting clothing at 50% off. A select group of Western boots now 50% off. Crappie season is coming and fishing gear is arriving daily. Gelco Outdoors. Work, hunt, fish. That's what we do. Gelco Outdoors. 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
Selling your home doesn't have to be stressful. Not when you work with Tara Limbird and the Limbird Real Estate Group. With over $1 billion in real estate sold, Tara's team knows how to make the process simple, successful, and even enjoyable. They can provide you with a cash offer in 72 hours, or you can use Tara's high-octane marketing and sell your home for thousands over asking. When it's time to buy or sell, trust a team that delivers results. Go to LimbirdTeam.com. LIMBIRD.
2026 is looking bright at Rath Auto Resources. Celebrate by driving away in one of our road-ready certified pre-owned cars, reconditioned and backed by a comprehensive warranty. With our award-winning customer service, non-commissioned sales team, and painless pricing, we take the hassle out of the car buying experience, so you can focus on more important things, like that new gym membership, quitting smoking, or that other thing. Ring in the new year with a new ride and see why all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith. RathAutoFortSmith.com.
Welcome back to, yeah, that's a Pepper Thing. First up, we've got Harrison wrapping his Dr. Pepper in a tiny quilt so it feels at home. Oh, how tender. That's a Pepper Thing. And over to Becca, who's whispering affirmations to her can.
You're sweet. You're unique. You're the best thing I ever poured over ice.
She swears it makes it taste better. It's not a science thing, but it's a Pepper Thing. Why do they all do it? All for that sweet, delicious, truly one-of-a-kind taste of Dr. Pepper. It's a Pepper Thing.
The Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Online and on the air and now everywhere you go. Tune in to the greatest moments of Razorback sports with Chuck Barrett, Bo Mattingly, Tommy Kraft, Ty Richardson, Phil Elson, Matt Jones, and Ruskin and Zach with our Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Stay connected no matter where you go with the Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Download for free in the Apple app or Google Play stores. Just search Hit That Line Now. It's fueled by Taco Bell. ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, partial sunshine. Our high temperatures will be right around the lower 40s. There is a chance of some freezing fog, especially across the south. High temperatures across the south in the upper 40s. Another cold one will drop down into the 20s tonight. Partly sunny on Friday with a high in the 30s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Colorworks. Whether it's the weather or just life, call Andy at Colorworks Paint and Body for all your auto body repairs. Big or small, old or new, they are the choice for auto body repair. KERX Paris Fort Smith. This is Halftime, coming at you from the Crabtree RV Studios on ESPN 95.3. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect you.
Live from the Busch Light Studio.
Don't ask me if I'm all right. Joaquin said dominate, and we not doing it. We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field. Yeah. You said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my hot dog? Let's go, man.
I have zero respect for saying no moss at halftime.
Name of one Razorback is vintage Matt Jones. The Cinderella story is over, man. Let's go.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Welcome back to Halftime. We're rolling along hour number 2, 12:01 on a Thursday. This is ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. Phil Elson, downtown Baton Rouge. Matt Jones and Kristen Johnston in the ESPN Arkansas headquarters. And Dudley Dawson coming up in about 30 minutes. So open for you at the moment at 877-377-6963. That is our Lewis Automotive Group hotline. I've been kicking around this Board of Trustees meeting from yesterday and what seems like a real surprise of a proposal for at least some of the members of the Board of Trustees, and also a surprise for two of the men that are given the responsibility of putting this plan into effect. Chancellor Charles Robinson and Hunter Yurachek apparently not able to read the proposal, which to me means they weren't given the proposal before it was voted upon. And that also shows you that it is not these two men's decisions that they've been handed this directive from the Board of Trustees. And they have to come up together with $6 million, part of this $15 million plan. As I understand it, the athletic department is responsible for figuring out $5 million for an all-in fund for football. The chancellor and athletic director responsible for figuring out $6 million, and that could end up being where you have some, I think the word is efficiencies, and then no more athletic allocation to the university. And this is all equaling around or right at $15 million for now, but it can be and probably will be adjusted for inflation in the coming years. So all this to feels more than anything of getting football right, a $25 million roster, and Matt has made the point that that does not mean that you are going to right football. But I think, Matt, it does mean that you can at least give Ryan Silverfield and the coaching staff the tools that they would need to put together a proper roster. Now, that also makes me wonder about this next year's roster. I think what they're bringing in, it's tough to tell, of course. We're just looking at where they're from, where they played previously, and how they performed while they were there. Getting some bigger name programs where they're coming in from, some very productive players where they were before. But it also feels like if you're trying to put $25 million into the football roster moving forward, I don't think that means the 2026 team.
Well, what counts as success in the opinion of, fans, opinion of people that, bottom line people. So what counts as success? And then minimum 3 years? Like, how long does he get to show that you're doing stuff the right way? I think you got to give coaches at least 3, but this is new society. It happens overnight, it seems like, right? Like you see Colorado had success, Indiana. I don't know that everything happens overnight like that, but I think you give them at least 3 years. And then what are we grade? How are we grading it? What means that it's success? Winning 6 games a year? Is that success now?
Doesn't it feel like it's just a very difficult bar to try to level yourself
tough
with the Indiana story?
Well,
like that story.
We can't.
Well, if it can happen there, it can happen anywhere. But there's a reason that this hasn't happened before, right? It's that difficult to turn a program around on a dime. I tell you what I think would be a big step forward next year, and I mean a big step forward, because you've seen a program turnaround in the SEC. It just hasn't been quite as dramatic as the Indiana turnaround. If you can get where Clark Lee got Vanderbilt, I think in his first year, didn't they go?
Yeah.
They go 6-6 regular season, win a bowl game, and then put forward maybe the best team in their program history. That kind of season, I think, would be some sort of forward momentum. Somebody called up earlier, like 4 wins would be just enough for me, and I understand to go from 2 to 4 would be nice, but I think you got to try to you got to make a bowl game next season.
Did we miss on the jury would be out? Phil, how I feel that we should put a fence up around the state and not let kids that can play high-level Division I football leave the state. Get them up there on the hill and see, did we miss on that kid from Greenwood? You think you're talking about Vanderbilt and Diego Pavia. He's a 5'9" quarterback. Wasn't that the thing with Kane Archer? He's just not big enough. He just doesn't but the dude's a winner, right? Like did we miss? I wonder. I mean, the jury's out. We'll find out in the next 36 months or so if we missed on Kane Archer, but we might have missed on a kid right here in our own backyard. And there's been a handful of Greenwood players, man. That city, that town, go up there if it's in baseball, Peyton Holtz. If it's in football and baseball, Connor Nolan. I mean, there's been a handful of Greenwood. Those are just a couple that have went up there and been very successful high-level players.
I just wonder also, too, if the die has already just been cast by I think from when I remember when he was hired, Silverfield did make a phone call to either Kane or the coach, wasn't returned, didn't make another effort, and it was kind of left at that. I just wonder if the die is cast about him. And you're looking at the Clark Lee thing here, too, and I'd forgotten how long he'd been there. It wasn't an immediate turnaround. Now, what would happen for Ryan Silverfield if the first 3 seasons go the same way that Clark Lee's first 3 seasons went? 2-10, first year 0-8. Second year, 5 wins, 2 in the SEC, and then back to 2-10, 0-8. And then get Jerry Kill to come over from New Mexico State with Diego Pavia for Lee's 4th year. Do you get a 4th year if you have 2 0-8 seasons?
I kind of, yes, I think so, man. Well, and there'll be different ways. Everything's situational. How's he going about it? Is he, is there still promises? There's still signs of life, but I don't mind. You find a high school kid that can play or a kid at another college that can play, hiring that offensive coordinator and bringing that quarterback along too. I think you might see more of that go on. You used to see it. You saw it a little bit with RG3 when he went to the NFL. You saw it with Andrew Luck, his offensive coordinator. You see a little bit because they're going to implement some of the same things that you're very good at. I mean, what you show up on tape and what you can do it at the next level too.
877-377-6963 for the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. I think at a quarter, I guess at least in the coaches' minds, they're set at quarterback maybe for the next year, 2, 3 years. Just in their minds, the guys that are on the roster, KJ and then AJ Hill, the kid that came over with Silverfield from Memphis. It feels like he was also, I don't know if the word is under-recruited as a freshman, but I just don't know if they're going to be bringing in somebody like a Pavia previously. I think these guys may end up being homegrown.
It's tough, Phil, to learn a new offense. So, KJ's been up there with the Razorbacks. Is this his 3rd year? So he's only had to learn one offense, I guess. Now he's learning a new one. I didn't know if he had another coordinator for Bobby. I couldn't remember who he was up there with, but there'll be a little bit of growth there. I remember when Todd Haley got to Pittsburgh and you had Big Ben and all. That second year, they were setting the world on fire. But that first year, you have to figure out what can he do well? What can my team do well? What is he not like? Put him just as much as getting him in a good play as getting him out of a bad play.
Just, looking at some of these back to the dollar figures on football, $87 million operating revenue for football out of an athletic department that has overall revenues of $196 million. So the football team is responsible for 44%, a little more than 44% of the money that is coming in to the athletic department. And at the same time, they're responsible for only 31% of the expenditures. Isn't that interesting? They bring in 44% of the money, spend 31% of the dollars, and still, clears almost $30 million as a profit for the football program. That is something. And yet the football program would be responsible for what, 95% of the tear your hair out, pound your chest, sackcloth and ashes and and face palms. Because you don't feel that way about basketball, not men's basketball. You don't feel that way about baseball. Get football right. These dollar figures end up going up. And I wonder too, is this true in this case? And for a small state, sometimes we act like the money is never dry up because it's Arkansas, but it's a small state, and I just wonder, can you put best foot forward for football and still win in the other sports? I think you can, at least for now, because you have the right coaches in place. John Calipari as your coach at Arkansas only works if you can bring in the kind of talent that's commensurate with Calipari being the coach. There's a reason that he's in the Hall of Fame, and there's a reason that he's got, that he is viewed the way he's viewed, because he knows how to put a team together. And what do you got to do that? And probably had to have that for years, going all the way back to his days at UMass. Money, it's over the table now. You get the right coaches in place in baseball, no matter what. Those are guys who have a reputation of getting guys from college to the next level and then see what they can do there. And they pay commensurate salaries compared to the other programs they're competing against in the SEC. So I don't look at this and say, well, then if you're raising football to a specific level, that means that baseball and basketball will automatically drop. But what it does tell me is that at some point the drag of so many of the other sports. And again, when I look at the $3 million loss on baseball, I really don't believe that dollar figure. But a lot of the other ones, you think if there was almost a $12 million profit, so to speak, in terms of the athletic department overall, every program except football and men's basketball lost money, and you got about 3 programs that would be track and field, both men's and women's basketball, that if you put those together, let's just do the math quickly here. Matt, you remember the last time I tried to do math on the show, really wasn't all that good. This would be these 3 sports: women's track and field country cross, men's track and field country cross, women's basketball, lose almost $17 million. That's just those 3 sports.
And we have the best
together.
sprinter in the world right now. Oh, you didn't say. You said cross country. Oh,
no, track and field and cross country.
We have the best
together.
sprinter in the best collegiate American sprinter, right? Like, I mean, he's the best one. That's crazy. You would think that that's wild.
What this shows you too, a couple of things. One, the business of college athletics is goofy. Really goofy, and has been for years and years and years. I don't know how it's worked for all the years that it has. Probably because the student athletes were getting screwed financially. They were getting their education. I get that, but they weren't. They were getting screwed, and that's why we are where we are right now. Man, what a crazy industry this is. All right, we got a break here on halftime. You can open up that Lewis Automotive Group hotline for you at 877-377-6963. Calls and texts coming in right there. The other thing that this tells me is that if you can just do the math, and you're wondering ever if college football were to separate from the rest of the industry, Matt, aren't you convinced this is going to happen? I kind of am too. The whole thing falls apart. Literally, the entire industry of college athletics falls apart if football were to separate from the rest of the pack. Unless there's some kind of financial lifeline that is thrown from the new LLC that is college football down to the rest of college sports, it just doesn't work financially. We'll be back in a moment. This is halftime.
Call or text 877-377-6963.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Taco Bell's new Lutz Value Menu has so much Lutz, it's starting to go to people's heads. I'm the Lutzierge.
Which is the mini taco salad fork?
Here to help them cope. So when you try the mini taco salad, beefy potato loaded griller, or chips and nacho supreme dip, enjoy the Lutz. Just don't let it go to your head.
Yeah, bring the car around.
You know there's no valet.
Then who's getting the car?
Taco Bell's new Lutz Value Menu. 10 extravagant indulgences, all $3 or less.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge, and when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
Does your Razorback closet need an upgrade? The University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you're looking for, only at Roback.com. They've custom designed the best hoodies, polos, and Q-zips for your school. Go check out this and more at Roback.com, and don't forget to use our link for 20% off. Use code RUSH25 at checkout on Roback.com for 20% off your first order. That's RHOBACK.com. 20% off all hoodies, joggers, and more with Rush 25. Roback, where action meets comfort.
Get 20% off on your first order with the code RUSH25.
There's nothing better than hitting a bet unless your whole crew hits it with you. That's what MyBookie's all about. Are you ready for the next 2 weeks of the NFL? We're hooking you up with 2 can't-lose locks of season. Bet up to $10 per lock and double your money when they hit. Select the Lock of Season tab in the sportsbook. Wager up to $10 per lock. Double your money on 4 bets that can't lose. Don't forget about the Bet Back bonus. Go to MyBookie now, punch in code HOGS, and get your first bet covered up to $500. If you don't hit on the first bet, just use your Bet Back bonus token and run it back. Must opt in to use the Bet Back bonus.
Dad, the driver looks dirty. You yucky, Daddy.
Hey, don't worry, boys. That's what we do best. At My Dreams Mo Wash, we make homes, businesses, and even big industrial spaces shine like new.
So you can clean houses and big buildings?
That's right. Residential, commercial, or industrial. No job's too big or too small. Call My Dreams Mo Wash today at 479-763-5561 or visit mjmowash.com.
My Junior's Mobile Wash. One call cleans it all.
David Bowie got more fame with his #1 hit titled Fame. John Lennon co-wrote and sounded some of the high notes. The last line in the first verse sums it up. Fame puts you there where things are hollow. John 12:43 tells us that many people rejected Jesus because they loved the fame of people more than the praise of God. Is it any wonder you get more fame by rejecting the name of Jesus? I'm Pastor E from Woodland. Think about it.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit could save you up to $600 off your tax bill.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years. Since 1946, no pressure, no hassle, just tradition. The celebration starts now. Let's get back to the show with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
They created tension. They instilled distrust. They were worse than children. This is coming from a survey. It was conducted by the U.S. Center for Safe Sport about why youth sport coaches are feeling burned out and are quitting. And they are referring, Matt, to parents. They created tension. They instilled distrust. They were worse than children, unquote. And it seems that the parents are the main reason why youth coaches are quitting youth athletics. Now, you come from a coaching family, too. I can imagine, even as a high school coach, your pops faced quite a lot of that, too.
Pops always said, hey, look, kids, I've seen all your mamas. It ain't going to do you any good calling me asking for playing time. I've seen all of them. So it ain't happening. I've never – we just had your boy Bobby Wernis on, right? Like in what did he say? If the kid's good enough, that's who we're going to play. I've been around, growing up with both my parents are school teachers and being a coach. I've never been around a coach, Phil, that didn't play the best player that gave him the best chance to win. That doesn't even make sense. So these parents all think their little baby is something. They all think their baby is something. Relax. We're like, no, don't be so weird about it. Like let the coach the kids, and if your kid's good enough, I promise you they're gonna play him. That's just parents. Yeah, I could only imagine.
The Little League baseball team I played for, Matt, was coached by the league commissioner, and our team were the Orioles, and we always had a pretty good Little League team, and everybody always put it on, well, your coach is the commissioner, so he can basically do what he wants to do, and never mind like looking around at the rest of the teams and thinking there's plenty of talented kids on every one of these teams. And I think well, usually it's more a matter of playing time, right? It's, that my kid deserves to play over the coach's son that deserves to play. But I think, communication between parents and coaches is it's not a bad thing. I think it's a matter of understanding where your kid fits into the team, right? And at least being able to accept it. Now, I think some parents go a little bit too far when it comes to advocating for your child. I don't know if there is such a thing as going too far advocating for your child when it comes to educational opportunities. Like if, in your school, like I got a situation where, I got to stay on certain teachers and administrators at my son's school so that his 504 plan is actually put into practice. I learned that myself. That's nothing wrong with that. But there is a problem when I think there can be, and I've seen this with the Razorback baseball team, maybe just once, just a lack of understanding about where the kid fits into the context of the team. Now, I guess sometimes there are some teams, Matt, where I know that this is true. Some coaches just aren't very good at letting everybody participate at a certain level. At a certain place, winning is everything. I don't think that's the case at every level of youth sports. And that also, I think, has to, be thrown out there. Let's not act like that a Little League game on a Wednesday night is Game 7 of the World Series at any level.
And just put a timer out there. Don't keep score then. That's what I always say. If you're going to be like that, don't keep score. Just put a 60-minute timer up there, press start, and play for 60 minutes. If that's what you wanted. If we're keeping score and you're going to be out there chasing fireflies, I can't play you. I don't care what age we're getting to. But if we're not going to, if that's what we're doing, it's just exercise, don't keep score. Put the timer up there, have the horn go off, running clock, and let everybody play and do calisthenics. But if once you start keeping score, once there's a scoreboard, it's what are we teaching the kids then?
Well, there are levels of, now I can't speak to basketball or football because my experience is with youth baseball and my son. And his level of youth baseball is sort of what you're talking about there. It's not travel. It's not, all the terms of prospects and elite and all that stuff. No, this is just kids that are trying to go out and have fun and play baseball. All right? And they do have a time limit. There is a time limit for the amount of, for I think it's 90, it's basically 90-minute games, and you can only score 5 runs in an inning. And once you get to 5 runs, the inning is over. The travel leagues, that's not like that. You may end up with a 20-0 final score. And they do keep score in these games as well. But I also don't see now. I will say there is one coach. There are a couple of these coaches who do coach these games like it is Game 7 of whatever playoff series, and to me that always came across as just being a little bit extra at that point, even at the age of 11 or 12. if we are keeping, if we're getting everybody off the field after 5 runs.
I know boys club was like this when I played, and this was 30 years ago, up until the 6th grade, I guess, or through the 6th grade. But everybody got to play at least one quarter in basketball. So if you had 10 guys on your team, everybody got to play. So usually you would play 5 guys in the first quarter, 5 guys in the second quarter. And then the 2 or 3 guys that weren't very good, they didn't play in the second half, but they got to play one quarter, and then it just it's one of those deals where maybe you should do something else. Maybe you're not an athlete, go do, I don't know. There's so many avenues in life to live and that you can find purpose in, but everybody, and a lot of times it's more the parents want their kid to be the athlete. The kid doesn't even care about playing. And, it's the parents is like, if the kid doesn't want to play, don't make him play.
Well, that's the other aspect of this, is that this story in this survey is a matter of the coaches who quit. I wonder about how many kids get fed up with the sport that they are playing because they're pushed so much by mom and dad, and they can see some of the conflict that's created from parents, either towards the kid, for maybe not enjoying the sport as much as the parents want them to, or with the coach for not, getting the kind of playing time. It's got to be a difficult situation back at home too. So, I think there's 2 ways to look at it. There's the coaches, but I would hate the idea of, and I've seen this up close, of a kid that might have shown up for a team wide-eyed and ready to go and excited about it, might not be very good, and ends up literally despising the sport because dad couldn't handle the idea that his son wasn't as good as he wanted him to be. And it's like, well, maybe we're going to be a major league player or anything like that, but it might not be that much fun to even watch that sport moving forward as you grow into adulthood.
If you want your kid to be better, then you got to put in the time. Go to the batting cages, go play catch there's things to do. They don't just show up and all of a sudden they have tools to be athletes. So you gotta put the time in with them if you want them to do anything. But that's life. How do you get to Carnegie Hall? Practice. 10,000 hour rule. All the things that go into that.
Yeah, so my experience with my son, you all know me. I had to convince my father to go out and have a catch every single day, and he would have loved to do it, except I would have stayed out there and thrown with him until his arm fell off, so he had to just fake that his arm hurt. We could have gone out and hit ground balls and fly balls to me and all of that. He had so much else going on in life that I ended up doing that with friends. My son starts playing Little League Baseball, and I wanted to try to maybe do some of that stuff. Let's just go to the ballpark. I'll throw you some ground balls, hit you some pop-ups, throw you a little batting practice, and I'll do that. And you know what? He did not look as interested as I was at that age. And we went out a couple of times, and there was a lot of protest. And to a point, I have to make a decision as a parent at that point. I'm like, all right, I don't think my kid is really interested in being a ball player. He wants to play baseball. He wants to get involved with the sport. He likes it. Maybe that's just because he knows that it's so much a part of my soul. But I don't think that this is the kid to push. I'm not dragging him out here to this field because he looks miserable. I'm not going to do that to him. So I'm going to try to present the sport in a different way so that he enjoys it. And we've talked about him, Matt. He's really not a good baseball player, but he enjoys going to the ballpark and enjoys being part of a team. And I wonder if I were to try to push this even more so, be like, get out of here, let's do these ground balls. It's just 60 minutes. I think he would have hated the sport. And I think he would have looked at me differently too.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if I would have wanted that.
And that's because you have awareness, and that's a good thing as a parent. You're involved and you have awareness. That's cool.
Well, I can be aware about a few things, which includes the time, and that Dudley Dawson is waiting on us. So before I do that, I'll remind you about Crabtree RV Center in Alma. We've been doing it in the River Valley in Northwest Arkansas for 75 years and counting, giving every buyer and their family the best RV purchasing experience. They'll help you choose the right RV, feature personalized financing, top-of-the-line parts and service department right where you made your purchase, where I-40 and I-49 come together in Alma. Crabtree RV Center, making your dreams come true, and online at crabtreerv.com. Dudley Dawson joins halftime right after this.
It's not like a must win, like, we're going to kill all the firstborns of every player if we lose. But, it's a game you really, really want to win.
This is halftime.
Are you ready to make a difference for the environment while helping the visually impaired at the same time? Then donate your vehicle to Heritage for the Blind today by calling 1-800-983-6530. Every donated vehicle will either be properly recycled in an eco-friendly manner or given a new life through reuse. Donating your vehicle is easy. Simply call 1-800-983-6530 and Heritage for the Blind will do the rest. They'll even arrange for your vehicle to be picked up at no cost to you. And for a limited time, when you donate your car, you'll receive a $200 restaurant voucher and a 2-night, 3-day hotel stay at one of 50 locations. Call 1-800-983-6530 right now to schedule your vehicle donation and make a positive impact on the environment while helping others. Heritage for the Blind, where every car donation counts and every person makes a difference. Call 1-800-983-6530 now. This advertisement is paid for by Heritage for the Blind.
This is halftime.
I've got a confession to make. I'm on my phone way too much, and most of the time, it's a waste. Hey, it's Ty Richardson for Janmark gas stations and convenience stores. There are some apps that are worth your time, such as the Janmark Rewards app. It includes top deals, the latest promotions, plus rewards that keep you coming back. Anytime I stop by the pump or register, my loyalty number is being utilized. Keeping up with my points and offers is easy. Download the Janmark Rewards app today in the iTunes or Google Play Store. Janmark, the leading gas station and convenience stores in Arkansas.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit could save you up to $600 off your tax bill.
This ad sponsored by the Sebastian County Assessor and paid for by Amendment 79.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
World-class trout fishing is the star of the show at Gaston's White River Resort, where a few days away from all the worries and stress will make all right in your world. Gaston's has friendly, experienced guides to help you land your limit. Enjoy your stay at Gaston's in one of their private cottages, or reserve a lodge for up to 20 people. Call now and let Gaston's help you plan your next getaway on the White River. 870-431-5202. That's 870-431-5202. Or learn more at Gastons.com. Gaston's, a first-class time, every time.
Early detection saves lives. I'm Dr. Gwendolyn Bryant Smith. At the UAMS Breast Center, we use advanced mammography with same-day results for both screening and diagnostic studies.
I'm Dr. Rhonda Henry Tillman. Understanding breast health is your first step to early detection.
Make yourself a priority and schedule your mammogram.
Call 501-526-6100 and let's paint Arkansas pink.
Sponsored by this station, the Arkansas Broadcasters Association, and UAMS.
I want barbecue that's sliced thick, smoked long, and so tender it melts in your mouth. Sides that will fill me up like a twice-baked potato, baked beans, hand-cut fries, okra, Texas toast. You know what I'm talking about? A restaurant where the whole family can go and get a great meal for a great price. Where the owner actually comes to your table to make sure everything tastes great. I'll tell you what I want. I want Jerry Neal's.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Find Halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years. Since 1946, no pressure, no hassle, just tradition. The celebration starts now. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Dudley Dawson will be joining us here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Dudley's going to come on around this same time, Thursdays, an hour later than usual. And Dudley, I appreciate you adjusting the Thursdays a little bit. Baseball can't have an interview after 12 o'clock, so thanks for helping us out, man.
No problem, anytime.
So what's your vantage point on this Board of Trustees thing from yesterday? $15 million. And it's funny because it's like I read some of the stories of Virginia Tech. I forget the dollar figure, if it was $280 million towards football. Michigan State gets a big donation for the university. Like $280 million goes to athletics. Utah, coupling with a private equity firm, $500 million. Arkansas, $15 million annually. Sounds like a small dollar figure compared to those. And they got to figure out how they're going to get this money together.
Yeah, the first thing when I first saw it, I thought, well, I guess that's cool. It's better than not putting any money toward it. But, as you said, we've seen all these other big numbers at schools. And I tell you what, it sure seems like, this is not just my opinion, but it sure seems like everybody's not on the same page there. They, with the quotes that they've been in the various publications from the various trustees, looks kind of discombobulated to me, and you never want to see that. One of the things that I've always said about the University of Arkansas here recently is that the messaging could be better. And I feel like this is a prime example of, if you're going to go in and you're going to announce something that should be positive, that you should come out with a strong message of you all being together and all on the same page. This looks like it was rushed a little bit to me, or you had some folks that, put other things in front of it, and obviously they all have jobs and all have responsibilities, but it's just the way it came out, and these are quotes, these are not opinions. I don't think it made it, it just took away from what should have been a nice story.
Kind of feels like a bill that was rushed through Congress, right? That's what I usually read about bills that are rushed through Congress, is that the Congress members sometimes say, how can I vote on this when I haven't even had a chance to read the thing? That's kind of what I'm gathering from this.
Yeah, I mean, or they got it at 8 a.m. yesterday. It's just, and I'm not here to bash anybody. That's not my, MO and all that. But, I'll call it as I see it. And it just looked, as you said, rushed, and it looked like it was not everybody on the same page. And after the thing back last September at Little Rock Touchdown Club, you would have thought that somebody would have, done a better job. I know John Thomas, who is one of the public relations guys over there. He's always done a great job, but he can't control everything. And I really do think that, I'm 62 now and been here for a long time, and I've watched a lot of different events happen over the course of my 40-plus years in sports writing and stuff. And guys, in today's age, especially of social media, you have got to get on the same page, and y'all have got to do better at messaging to the fans, or you're just going to lose some more of them.
Good point. Really is a good point. And do you feel like we still have a lot of fans who text in with a lot of frustration, but it doesn't feel to me like they've lost their fandom. I do agree with that, but I do think that the football has been slipping a little bit, and you don't want to give the fans any more ammunition. I mean, I understand to compete in today's college landscape, you're going to have to raise prices. You're going to have to move people around.
the grandfathered seats. It's happening all over the place. But again, I go back to the messaging that come out with a better way to do things. And I'm not a public relations guy. If I was, I'd be dressed in better clothes and have more in the bank and all that kind of stuff. But I do know that when you are trying to be positive, you all need to be on the same page. And yesterday into today just appears to be a little bit of a cluster. Y'all get together on the same page. Y'all all have businesses that are very successful. This is just another business per se. Get on the same page and do what you need to do to not only help the fans but help your program.
Dudley, let's talk a little basketball. Hogs 6-2, got a chance to go 7-2. A big game. This is why you come to Arkansas to play in games like this. How you feeling about a double bye? Were you feeling? What do you think this Razorback team? They the second, third best team in the conference, or do you think they still have a legitimate shot to win this league this year?
I still want to see a little better play on the road, and that was a big win. Let me re-describe that. That would have been a bad loss if you had lost over there in Oklahoma. So that makes it a big win, I guess, whether you get out of there by one and all. And it looked for a little while like that guy that's been playing 8 years is going to hit every shot he took. But I think they've got the opportunity to be a great basketball team, but I still worry about the defense. There's too many open shots. And I know when you play an up-tempo game and you're getting up and down the floor and you're leading the nation in efficiency on fast breaks and all that, defense may, be a problem there. But I was fortunate to be able to be on the bench with Coach Eddie Sutton and Coach Nolan Richardson, and they both preached defense, even though, a lot of people, talk about the fast break offense of Coach Richardson and all that, but it was still all about defense. And I think that's the thing that's either going to put Arkansas over the top or keep them from doing that, especially on the road, which, there's people just standing wide open when they get on the road, and your defense has got to travel.
I agree with you. Do you think it's as much as getting people involved on the offensive end? Because at times it's the Acuff and Malik Thomas show. It's those guys are going to shoot the ball 15 times a piece a game, and then everybody else, you kind of get in where you fit in. Is there a little bit of standing and watching on offense? Do you think some of that would help, or do you think they've all kind of bought in that, hey, we're going to go as far as those two freshmen take us?
Matt, you know this from back in the day, man ball. That's the two basic principles. And I do feel like that many times that Arkansas players are taking their eyes off of one of those two. You've got to see both, and you've got to know what's coming to you. They're getting screened and not getting over them. A lot of announcers make it a lot of, including, our own Joe Klein and Jimmy Dykes and all that, who talk about Arkansas can switch from 1 to 5, and they have been doing that. But it does you no good if you're switching from 1 to 5 if you don't get over that screen or don't go under the screen or whatever you need to do there. And I think that's a big key. And I Coach Cal and those guys have know more about basketball and they forgot more about basketball than I know. But it's at the same time, like I said, I do feel like I sat on the bench with a couple of guys that that knew how to play that, and it's cliche, but effort on defense results in wins.
Who's the best team in the country right now? Like, if you had to say, is it Duke? Is it Arizona? Who do you think right now in college basketball? Who is the best team in the country? Is it UConn? Are they back?
Yeah, the availability to watch with the snow on the ground and to stay up a little later, I really like what I'm seeing out of Arizona, and I think they may be number one. UConn, I think, is really good as well. Danny Hurley turns me off at times, But and there's some other really good teams out there. But if I was picking right now, I'd say Arizona.
Okay, Kentucky fans now hate their team. This is the same team that has had some historic comebacks on the road. It's like I understand maybe they're not as good as expected. It's still a talented group, and Shovel shovel dirt on Kentucky on your own danger. But the fans seem to hate their team right now, Dudley.
Yeah, they'll play their best game of the year probably here Saturday. I mean, that's just the way things work, and everybody knows the whole Kentucky-Arkansas chasm there or whatever it is, and it's a big game for both teams. But I tell you what, I'm sitting here and I'm going to give Mark Pope and his team credit, not for obviously the Vanderbilt game the other night where they lost 80-55, but to have the fortitude to be down the way they have been and come back, that gives you a little pause. And as you say, kicking dirt on them. They did win 5 in a row, and schedule makers did them no favors this week by sending them to the strange Vanderbilt court and then to a Bud Walton Arena crowd that's probably going to be beside itself. Saturday afternoon at 5:30, people have had to stay home and wanted to get out, and I imagine a lot of them going to be there. And it's Arkansas, Kentucky. Sounds like fun. Hey, the Royal Rumble, the Arkansas basketball, and I think Patriot and I are going to watch the Great Escape movie on Saturday. So I think it's a pretty good Saturday.
I like
man.
it. I like
Dudley,
it.
I mean, don't explode. Don't blow your head up, man. I mean, that's just a little bit too much for one night. Well, hopefully you guys are able to recover from all that excitement. We'll have you on Thursday next week, right?
Yes, it sounds good, man.
All right. Always appreciate your time, Dudley. Thank you.
You bet, anytime.
Dudley Dawson joins us on Thursdays on Halftime. Man, Matt, that's quite a night.
I'm
Royal Rumble in Riyadh,
jealous, right?
Arkansas versus Kentucky and the Great Escape with Steve McQueen.
Gin Blossoms have a song called Hey Jealousy. Maybe we'll play it coming up.
877-377-6963, our Lewis Automotive Group hotline. We'll be back in a moment and wrap up the second hour, so stay with us.
We are the state's team. This is Halftime.
This is Bruce Stanton, Vice President and General Manager of Pradco Fishing in Fort Smith. If you're going to do some cold water bass fishing, you need to be using an Umbrella Flash Mob Jr. It's the best lure for duplicating a small school of shad and can be worked from the top of the water column to the bottom. Whether you're trying to win a bass tournament or whoop up on a bunch of white bass and stripers, the Umbrella Flash Mob Jr. will catch them. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Umbrella Flash Mob Jr.
90 years. That's how long the Hug family has been a part of this town. Through dust bowls, downturns, and drive-thrus, we've been right here, selling trucks to grandfathers and now their grandkids. Because it isn't just about cars, it's about connection. We're proud to still be your local GM dealership after all these years. Hug Chevrolet GMC, since the beginning, still right here.
Ah, the Internet, a place where your curiosity can flourish. Unless malware gets in the way. It's a place that can surprise you. With phishing websites and trackers. The Internet is wonderful, but you must protect yourself online. Protect yourself online with NordVPN. TechRadar named it the #1 VPN in 2025. A single NordVPN account secures up to 10 devices. What else? This cybersecurity tool also encrypts your browsing. NordVPN's Threat Protection Pro feature helps you block malware, avoid phishing, and stop digital trackers. NordVPN scans the dark web to check that the information associated with your email address is not exposed. Just a few clicks and you're safer online. Browse with more peace of mind. Get the best deal at NordVPN.com.
Every 40 seconds, a child is reported missing. That's 2,000 children every single day. It's a heart-wrenching reality that we can no longer ignore. Find the Children is a non-profit organization dedicated to helping find missing kids. You can be a part of their mission by donating your unwanted vehicle, running or not. Call 1-800-294-0222. We guarantee that you will receive the maximum tax deduction. We provide fast, free pickup with 24-hour response. Call 1-800-294-0222. Find the Children provides crucial resources to help find missing children and educational materials to teach kids how to recognize and avoid predators. Our recovery programs have a proven track record of reuniting kids with their families. It's time to act. Donate your unwanted or unused car. Help us build a world where every child is safe. Pick up the phone and call 1-800-294-0222. Together, we can bring these kids home safely. This advertisement was paid for in partnership with Cars R Us and Find the Children.
Time is valuable. That's why Lowe's Blueprint Takeoffs turn blueprints into quotes faster. Bring us your plans, and we'll generate itemized material lists to make quoting easier so you can get back to building. Plus, at the Lowe's Pro Desk, you get access to thousands of building materials not sold in store. And when your order's ready, we'll deliver everything to the job site. Improving is easy at Lowe's.
With 10 extravagant indulgences for $3 or less, Taco Bell's new Lutz Value Menu makes you feel Lutz. As their official Lutziers, I help when it makes you feel too Lutz. Like when you eat the delectable new mini taco salad, you don't need a mini taco salad fork. The fork that comes in the bag is fine. Just like the beefy potato loaded griller isn't bruleed, it's grilled. Just as good though. Try Taco Bell's new Lutz Value Menu for $3 or less today. At participating Taco Bell stores while supplies last. Price of participation varies. Tax extra.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963.
Well, I was 16 and sick of school. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I bought a guitar, I got the fever, that's rock and roll. I stayed at parties, played in bars. I spent the night on new guitars. I see my eyes, but I have nothing, that's rock and roll.
Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
That's right. I didn't know that song before, and it sounded like George Michael. Matt told me it was somebody else, though.
We're doing a 1977 day just because, like, why not? Just all
my
music.
birth year, sure.
There you go. It's a tribute.
It's a great year. 1977 was just a great year. Disco was at its apex. What else was going on in 1977 other than
the Cincinnati Reds were really good at baseball in 77, I bet.
I think the Yankees were world champions, though, that
year.
They
won it in
the
77?
first of back-to-back. 77 Super Bowl, would that have been the Cowboys? I think the Cowboys might have won that year.
I bet the Arkansas basketball and football team were pretty good in 77.
Well, let's double-check on that. We got this information at our fingertips. Shouldn't take very long to get there.
The World Wide Web. There was so I'd watching like a Regis and Kathy Lee like rerun they were doing flashing across, and they were like, "What's this thing called the internet? Can you help me get imagine when the internet just came out to today? Like,
let me just reach to the top of my desk over here and grab my World Book Encyclopedia here.
Yeah, somebody knocks on your door to sell you encyclopedias, and you're like, "All right, I'll do one letter. I can't buy all 26, but I can do one letter."
Here's proof that my parents just collect things and never throw them out. We still have the 1987 World Book Encyclopedia in the bookcase in the study back in the ancestral house back in Pittsburgh. It's like that's first of all, that is nearly 40-year-old information, and it's in a book now. And who needs those things? A through Z. Let's see, 1977, Matt, Razorback football went 11-1. How about that? 11-1 in 1977 with a 7-1 Southwest Conference record, and ended up winning the Orange Bowl over Oklahoma. I think that's the Orange Bowl that Eddie used to call in and yell about. There was a couple of players, I think 3 players got suspended, and they went and they just rolled over OU anyway.
There we go.
1977 basketball. 32-4.
Let's go.
Not bad.
Let's go. 1977.
14-2 in the SEC.
Man, we should have done this years ago. What are you talking about?
That's the first Final Four for Arkansas, man. 1977's a banner year in Razorback athletics.
Good vibes. We're like your friend Alyssa Orange. We're nothing but good vibes here today.
We got to have like a song that's named 1977 out there. Does your girl Taylor Swift write one of those? No, probably not. Little Rock School
87,
District.
I think, was her. Yeah.
Little Rock School District just made the phone call. So going to guarantee now it's going to be 5 days in a row, no school. It's like a whole new spring break. Did you ever want one of those? Just a random spring break in the middle of winter?
It never. Phil, I grew up in Hot Springs and Van Buren, Fort Smith area. I don't remember ever getting an that didn't happen. Like, you had spring break, but like you might miss a day or two, but there wasn't a time where you missed the whole week.
This is only going to be the second time in these children's lives. I got a 13-year-old and a 16-year-old. It'll be the second time in their lives that they are missing an entire week of school for nothing but weather. Go get yourself something to learn today. Read a book. 877-377-6963 to get with us on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Brett Dolan joins us in 20 minutes, and we are right back after this.
Save up to $4,000 on select Buick Envisions at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The Buick Envision showcases inspired design with exclusive features in this 5-passenger SUV. Or drive the brand new Buick Envista, a stylish crossover for as low as $399 per month. These are limited time offers. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith or online at harryrobinson.com.
Hey Razorback fans, Matt Jones here. We're all experiencing higher prices on just about everything, and that includes sunrooms, patio covers, and windows. If you've gotten an estimate on any of these projects and you were shocked by the price, then you need to call Sawyers. They've been making quality, affordable products for 35 years. They're local, they have 100% financing, and a beautiful showroom with all their products displayed. So give my buddy Buzz a call or check them out, sawyers-sunrooms.com.
It's sad that we live in an unsafe world, but we do. Would you be able to show the police who was at your home if something was taken? Guardtronic installs alarm systems as well as camera systems. We here at ESPN rely on our Guardtronic installed cameras to keep an eye on what's going on around our building, as many of you do. Guardtronic has been serving the River Valley for over 60 years. Call Guardtronic for a free estimate so you'll be able to show the police who the bad boys are that took your belongings. License E50.
Post-Career Day press conference brought to you by Progressive.
Anthony, can you tell us what happened during Career Day?
I'm a biomedical researcher. The kids just weren't impressed.
How did you feel when your son called in the backup?
Embarrassed, and I knew it would be a fireman. It's always a fireman. It's cliche, but a crowd favorite. He had an axe and everything. I can't compete with that.
And will the fireman be helping your son with his science fair project?
Hope not. I'm literally a scientist.
Like it or not, sometimes you need a backup. That's why there's Progressive to protect your home and auto. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
World-class trout fishing is the star of the show at Gaston's White River Resort, where a few days away from all the worries and stress will make all right in your world. Gaston's has friendly, experienced guides to help you land your limit. Enjoy your stay at Gaston's in one of their private cottages, or reserve a lodge for up to 20 people. Call now and let Gaston's help you plan your next getaway on the White River. 870-431-5202. That's 870-431-5202. Or learn more at Gastons.com. Gaston's, a first-class time, every time.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, partial sunshine. Our high temperatures will be right around the lower 40s. There is a chance of some freezing fog, especially across the south. High temperatures across the south in the upper 40s. Another cold one will drop down into the 20s tonight. Partly sunny on Friday with a high in the 30s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by ColorWorks. Whether it's the weather or just life, call Andy at ColorWorks Paint and Body for all your auto body repairs. Big or small, old or new, they are the KERX Paris Fort Smith. This is Halftime, coming at you from the Crabtree RV Studios on ESPN 95.3. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect it.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
Don't ask me if I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field. Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. My heart, dog. Let's go, man.
I have zero respect for saying no moss at halftime.
What name of one Razorback? Is vintage Matt Jones.
The Cinderella story is over, man.
Let's go.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
And welcome back in. Halftime continues. This is ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. Phil Elson, Matt Jones, Kristen Johnston producing. Got Brett Dolan coming on in about 15 minutes. Calls and texts at 877-377-6963 for the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. And so we got the basketball game on Saturday, Matt. Arkansas, Kentucky. I know everybody's really fired up about it. You'd be fired up about it no matter what, even if it's just Kentucky without the John Calipari end of the story. But that just throws a whole other. You know, the last time Kentucky came in, Cal was the coach. You came in to boo him. And, you know, one of the things about this weekend, I'd found out, you know, one of my lasting memories from, and I don't think this was the last time that Kentucky came in. It was the time before that when Cal had the double technical, was ejected, and Kentucky rallied back and beat Arkansas. But that's such a memorable moment. And one of the more memorable shots of that moment was Dave Van Horn heckling Calipari after the second technical before Cal started walking off the field or off the court. And you're at a point now, Matt, where I think Dave and Cal get along really well. I think you could say they're friends. Cal actually is the only coach at Arkansas that I see outside of the baseball team that wears the Arkansas A. You know, he wears this all the time. He wears it over at, I think he was wearing it in the press conference at the last basketball game. That A that we wear for baseball. Baseball is the only sport that uses it. Cal can dress the way he wants to dress. You know, he's got I think he's got an affinity for Arkansas baseball. But the baseball team can't scrimmage Saturday afternoon indoors because track has an event right across the way in the Tyson Track Center, so you can't use the Fowler Center. That's going to be used for track. So they have to scrimmage indoors during the basketball game. And usually those guys would be at the game. Like I know the coaching staff would be at the game, but they've got a scrimmage instead, and they probably won't even have any. They will have no idea. Think about that. The only people, I'll bet you, the only people that will have no idea what's going on in that basketball game in the entire state is the baseball team because they're going to be scrimmaging indoors at that moment.
They won't have the game on like a projection up there as like sound noise or outside noise that's going on so you don't get distracted, but it's on a little bit. Like,
my guess is no.
Yeah.
My guess is no. So sometimes we'll do it, you know, in March when the team is in March Madness and there's baseball games at Baum on a Friday or a Saturday. When the game is on, they'll put it up on the video board unless it's game time. You can have it up there in game time. And I know they don't like to have it up there during batting practice, too, because they want the guys just focused on what they're doing. So isn't that interesting? Because if you go to Arkansas as a baseball player or as a basketball player and or a football player and you have access to tickets, isn't that the game you make sure you're going to go to? I think that there's a big football recruiting weekend. My assumption, Matt, is there will be a lot of football recruits that are at that basketball game as well, as they should, because you're going to get a sense of the passion of Razorback fans. But not a single baseball player will have any idea what's going on in that building. And I hate that for them, too. I really do, because if there's quite nothing like, it's like whenever LSU comes to Baum for baseball, what's the opponent that's going to get you jacked up in the football stadium more than anything? As long as you feel you got a chance to win.
Texas, right?
Texas, exactly. That's what Kentucky coming into Bud Walton Arena is. And just for the atmosphere alone and the idea that they were digging Cal's grave a year ago. The team was 0-5 in the conference a year ago. Game had passed him by. You know, it's all old hat, not going to work there any longer, you know, making proclamations about teams in January. And I think Kentucky was riding pretty high for a little bit there. Do you see that BYU has gotten better, at least record-wise, in the 2 seasons since Pope became the Kentucky coach? BYU has gotten better, and Kentucky is not at, it didn't appear to be, to me, the level that Cal had him at in regular season. I know the postseason's the whole thing.
Does BYU have the best freshman in the country?
Bansa, that's right. That's right. But with Pope, the last season with Pope. He was only there 5 years, 23-11, 10-8, lost in the first round. Last year, 26-10, 14-6, and made it to the Sweet 16. And they certainly look like they got the kind of team to at least advance that far again. Arkansas got better with John Calipari. Kentucky might have gotten worse, maybe. Looks like they might have, and I think BYU got worse at the same time.
BYU football, BYU basketball, they're rocking. How good's BYU in baseball? They decent?
They've got a team.
Best
We'll put it that way.
BYU alum, Steve Young, Ty Detmer. Is that those two? Steve Young?
It's the only one I can think of. Sean Bradley. Wasn't he a BYU guy?
You know, I saw he was in a wheelchair at one of those games. Yeah, man, 7'6". Whoa, Sean Bradley.
7 foot. That's a big. He's still taller than me if he's sitting. Even at that. Yeah, JT asked if there's a way to get a picture of Dave waving a cow, and he wants to get Dave and Cow to sign it. The photo's out there. You can print it yourself. You're going to probably have to ask for the autograph yourself too, because that's a difficult one to ask for. How did that conversation go down? I mean, I know the two of them are now, Razorback coaches and everything. You think, hey, remember that time you got ejected from that game? I was the loudest person screaming at you on your way off the court. And oh, by the way, came back and won that game too. No, Cliff, they did not put nails in the coffin. They just glued it shut, and it didn't quite work. Either that or Cal was able to dig himself out of the coffin, being buried alive the way those Kentucky fans did.
Uma Thurman, Kill Bill style.
Jim McMahon went to BYU too, right? That's according to JT. He is a BYU guy. There's a Super Bowl winning quarterback. Why not? Kuhio Aloy, Arkansas right fielder, DH, started at BYU as a pitcher.
But this we got. I'm not into. I guess so, huh? It's a new way. He was there for a year. That doesn't
1 year.
That doesn't count. But
No,
I get it. I get it. But then he just goes to another college. You know, it's like how many of your classes credits transferred over? Okay, then we'll see if you're really a BYU guy. 0, right? Like you're not a student.
It still goes on your stat page, still goes on your baseball card. But I don't think you would identify quite that way, too. Yeah, McMahon did go to BYU, JT. Do remember that. 1977 has been our year today. Chris likes all the songs from 1977. I wonder what was the number one song in 1977.
Rod Stewart,
on American Top 40. Here it is, list of Hot 100 number one songs. And it is Tonight's the Night, you're right, by Rod Stewart. That's a little slow one. Of course, Rod really was just singing about sex his entire career anyway. And that's about right there, too. Make Me Feel Like Dancing was number 3. I'm not sure about some of the music from 77 in some of these cases here. Rich Girl was number 13 by Hall & Can we play a little Hall & Oates, Matt? I've got an affinity for them. Yeah, Glenn Campbell, Southern Nights, an Arkansas boy. That was number 17 that year. Just ahead, would you believe, Southern Nights was higher on the Hot 100 than Hotel California by the Eagles. And I know, Matt, you're a huge Eagle. Well, I think you're okay with the Eagles. You're not quite the same level as Big Lebowski.
I'm a Joe Walsh fan, and the Eagles happen to have Joe Walsh in there. Is Don Henley considered one of the best singer-drummers of all time? It's like Glenn Frey. I like the Eagles. I don't mind the Eagles, but they're.
There's a good one. Gonna Fly Now. The theme from Rocky was number 27.
Still never seen that movie.
Oh, that has to change.
Never seen any of the Rockies.
Never seen the Rockies.
Star Wars.
Star Wars came out in 1977. The original Star Wars was 1977. It's a lot of pop culture that reaches back into those moments there. I don't know. I feel like the only way that that'll happen though is if I beat you in our college football picks next year. That is the only way I'll get you to watch any of those movies. And I don't know if I'll do it too, because I think you know football better than me.
Oh, I'll take a dive. I'll be like little Jerry Seinfeld, and I'll take a dive.
Why not? Why not? And remember about the Fence Man. If you're looking for a fence that stands out and stands strong, the Fence Man, 479-782-38 3936. It's the Fenceman, been serving our listening area for more than 40 years, building custom, one-of-a-kind fences, residential, commercial, high-security, automatic gates, and financing for 18 months. You'll find the Fenceman online at thefencemanAR.com. You can call 479-782-3936 or go to thefencemanAR.com. It's the Fenceman. He ain't afraid of no work. Back in a moment with Brett Dolan here on Halftime.
Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years. Since 1946, no pressure, no hassle, just tradition. The celebration starts now.
There's what's the lock point on this kind of like either you can get up and get it from anywhere.
Yeah, it's great. First play of the game. I seen it early.
That foul is on Bebe Miller, and the Hogs run a lob on the other end. A-cup to Brazil, and there's the first dunk of the preseason.
Listen to every Razorback basketball game right here on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Hey everyone, Josh Earnhardt here at AAA Business Systems in Northwest Arkansas. Do you like doing business with local companies? Did you know that AAA Business Systems is one of only a few truly local office technology providers in Northwest Arkansas? Ask your current technology provider where their corporate office is, and let's keep your money in Northwest Arkansas. Buy local, support local. Call us today at 479-442-4185, and remember, anything else is just a copy.
A friend is someone who knows where you came from. Someone who always shows up when you need them. Someone who's there for the good times and the challenging ones. With comprehensive insurance policies backed by award-winning customer service, Shelter Insurance is committed to being there when you need us most.
Call Brad Howe in Van Buren or call Ryan Hughes in Fort Smith.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Are you ready to make a difference for the environment while helping the visually impaired at the same time? Then donate your vehicle to Heritage for the Blind today by calling 1-800-983-6530. Every donated vehicle will either be properly recycled in an eco-friendly manner or given a new life through reuse. Donating your vehicle is easy. Simply call 1-800-983-6530 and Heritage for the Blind will do the rest. They'll even arrange for your vehicle to be picked up at no cost to you. And for a limited time, when you donate your car, you'll receive a $200 restaurant voucher and a 2-night, 3-day hotel stay at one of 50 locations. Call 1-800-983-6530 right now to schedule your vehicle donation and make a positive impact on the environment while helping others. Heritage for the Blind, where every car donation counts and every person makes a difference. Call 1-800-983-6530 now. This advertisement is paid for by Heritage for the Blind.
You still thinking job change in the new year?
Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy.
IT?
Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI.
That's what I did.
Really? How?
Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there, too, to level up.
Sweet. Are classes online or on campus?
Both.
Wow, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner.
Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
We're keeping Arkansas beautiful. Want to lend a hand? Don't be afraid to get them dirty. Every day, volunteers around the state are picking up litter, planting trees and wildflowers, recycling, and more. You know what these volunteers need most? Help. Volunteer today at keeparkansasbeautiful.com. Learn more about all our programs. A message brought to you by the Keep Arkansas Beautiful Commission, this station, and the Arkansas Broadcasters Association.
The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss.
love it, rock and roll, whoa. You love it, getting some whoa. You love it, getting some whoa. You like it, burn your mouth. You love it, rock and roll, whoa. You love it, getting some whoa. You love it, getting some whoa. You like it, burn your mouth. He knows what he got to do, he knows he's gotta have fun with you. You're lucky, baby.
Make sure to follow Halftime on X at Hit That Line AR and on Facebook and Instagram at Hit That Line. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years. Since 1946, no pressure, no hassle, just tradition. The celebration starts now. Let's get back to the show with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Brett Dolan joining us on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline here on a Thursday afternoon. Brett, what you been up to? This is that kind of the year where you're call. How many different sports are you calling at once these days?
Enough. We're looking ahead to that makeup women's basketball game. I know you are, because that's on February 19th, and then we have the baseball home opener the next day, and then a gymnastics meet. And I think I'm doing all three in a 24-hour span, and we're trying to figure out how all these pieces fit together. So a lot. We got, men's, women's basketball, although they're basically done for me, and baseball and softball crank up soon, and gymnastics still going on. So batten down the hatches.
I see you were at the Shrine Bowl, right? The Shrine Bowl is a lot different than it used to be. That's is that at the Star in Frisco?
It is, and it's my third straight year of going there to help out the Shriners a little bit. Great people and a good cause, and I was able to navigate the roads barely there and back, and got to see a few of my Hawkeyes and be part of that event on Tuesday night, and then I raced all the way back, so kind of snuck that in around all the other events.
Is it still a game? I mean, I know that the Senior Bowl, they still play a game. Is the Shrine Bowl still a game, or is it like a series of kind of like what the Pro Bowl looks like?
It's a game, and for the 101st straight time. So I think it's going back to 1925, and obviously it was nice to be able to play it indoors at the Star. A year ago, we were at the Cowboys Stadium. But that's just too big for this venue. So it worked out well that players were able to practice for several days around the blizzard for the NFL teams and play the game on Tuesday, and now the Senior Bowl will take over the rest of the week.
See, we were getting into this stuff with Board of Trustees and this $15 million that's being added to the athletics budget. Just not quite sure exactly how you're gonna get this done. I'm not sure if that's I know you work inside the athletics department. I'm not sure if that's something you can speak on, but that's the thing everybody's talking about today. Brett, is it seems that just the way that that athletics had done business, which in some cases I think might have seemed a little bit antiquated with the added costs. That this is I think it's also indicative of, I think that athletics at Arkansas in some cases tried to be proactive in the NIL sphere. That's what One Arkansas was about, trying to get ahead of the curve, and I don't think they did. And this to me feels a little bit reactive of saying, well, we get this problem right here, and this is kind of the way that we're trying to fix it. It's just we tried to make a point. Money doesn't always fix the problems. It's just you have to have the money in order to fix the problem, though.
Well, you're onto something there, and I reference certain college football teams, and being in the Big Ten, Wisconsin was a team that didn't invest heavily, and they paid the price. Now, I know they, like other schools around the country, are telling their donors, hey, we need to invest to win. Sometimes you have to invest to hold your place in line, and that's not very sexy either. But, Wisconsin's 6-6, well, you don't win, you don't invest, and all of a sudden you're 3-9 or 4-8. Well, sometimes you have to spend to keep up with everybody else and then hope to catch the wave of talent evaluation, the right coaching staff, and whatever to win. So it's not a fun time, to be in college sports, because it used to be, guys, if you wanted to raise money for an arena or a practice facility, you worked really hard for a couple of years and then you took a deep breath. I don't know where the breaths come from, because it's just nonstop revenue generation right now. And Arkansas is very fortunate. They sell a lot of tickets in basketball and baseball, and even on down football years, they sell a lot of football tickets too. So you keep having to find additional ways to raise more money, and And that's why eventually we'll be in a 16 or a 24-team college playoff, and we'll be in a 90-team NCAA basketball tournament, not because we need that, but because of the need to generate money. So it's a nonstop situation, and I don't know how or when it ends.
I think you just hit on something, too. When you read these reports about the fiscal year 2025, that the main reason that Arkansas athletics turned a profit essentially is because the college football playoff expanded, which filtered more money to the SEC, and then the word was gift from the SEC. I think it was over $4 million, if I remember the dollar figure, but that came specifically from, as you're mentioning, the expansion of the college football playoff from 4 to 12 teams. So when you think about that, and I hadn't put it in these terms really, because revenue to athletic departments also comes in the form, they use the term NCAA units for the March Madness and from bowl games and from the playoff. When you're part of a large conference, you get a payoff. Well, not in every case. I think, didn't Miami keep all the money? It didn't filter down to the ACC. The SEC does things a little bit differently. So, when I hear those things, Brett, that makes me think that the football playoff most definitely is going to 24.
And I know what you're building towards. When you start playing 9 conference games, I don't know if that's great for the teams that are trying to win. The fans like more matchups, but who really wants it is the TV network. So whenever those contracts come up, you expect to make more money because you're playing more conference games and less non-conference games. So again, we're building towards just constantly looking to ways to expand the playoff or the NCAA tournament or get more money from the television contracts. But in the meantime, all of these schools across the country, and I can't believe it's only limited to Arkansas, you have to get creative. And the fact that Arkansas their athletic department still gives a big check to the university is interesting in today's day and age. I don't think every school does that either. But, I don't know when it ends. We kept thinking this House settlement would restore some order. The House settlement, in part, was a joke because we have athletic directors around the country saying, let's not have a cap. Just do away with the cap. You want to spend $25 million? You want to spend $30 million? You should be able to do it. That can't possibly be the answer in this era where schools are trying to raise money. But here we are again, just trying to figure it out on the fly.
Well, and the idea of raising more money also goes along with cutting. And I think that's, some of the sports that you're involved with calling on RSN and SEC Plus, gymnastics. There's, the tennis programs, swimming, diving, looking at the financial hole that is created from women's basketball. And you do have to wonder a little bit about, because they're not just adding revenue. This is not just about adding revenue. This is about cutting costs. And they already have cut costs in the last year. And now they're going to go another round of it too. So when I'm looking at like the ladies that I'm going to be around for lunch in about an hour and about an hour and a half, we're playing LSU later tonight, that program. Now, I don't know what gets cut or if positions do or whatever, but that is a program that lost $6 million from the reports from the Democrat Gazette. That's the other end of this too, is that if you're adding funds for football specifically, and football pays for just about everything, there are going to be more job losses. And eventually, Brett, it just feels like you're going to be cutting a sport at some point.
I would be nervous if I was in the college tennis or golf or swimming and diving range. Again, I know women's basketball doesn't make money, but the tournament and the contracts for the NCAA tournament are big revenue generators, so there's something coming in. There are sports where it's not, and I don't know what the answer is. I don't know if the Olympic committees can subsidize some of these sports, whether the LPGA or PGA tournament might be able to help out. Because at some point, no one wants to be asked for money on those levels, too. Arkansas has a tremendous golf facility, the Blessings and John Tyson, so that program's not going anywhere. But if you didn't have that, and you're a northern, southern golf school, or you're trying to play tennis or swimming, football has subsidized all of this forever. Now football's trying to subsidize football. So where does the rest come from? Around Title IX? I don't know, but my goodness, these challenges for every athletic department are vast because they're starting to punch back right now with the financials and just the need to raise money to constantly pay salaries and players and travel and everything. And it's a trying time.
Well, let's switch gears a little bit. I want to bring up the Bill Belichick deal at Canton and the Hall of Fame, and I think some of us ran to the idea that, he didn't get voted in for some reasons because of the cheating scandals, that there might have been old scores to settle as well. I read a column from, and I can't remember the gentleman's name. He writes in the Kansas City Star. Vahe Gregorian, I think was his name. And he had a vote. He's one of the 50, and he didn't vote for Belichick. But he said the reason is because there are other people that were on that specific ballot that would have fallen off if he didn't vote, if they didn't get voted for or get voted in this year. And it's like a player like Roger Craig. I have to be reminded sometimes. Roger Craig is not in the Hall of Fame? Really? He belongs in the Hall of Fame, and if he doesn't get in this year, I don't think he ever gets in. So it's like a choice. Am I voting for this coach who should be a first ballot Hall of Famer, or am I looking at guys who I only have 5 votes? Am I looking at guys who will never have the chance to get in if they don't get in this year, like L.C. Greenwood or Roger Craig and a couple of others, which, it's like there's always another end of the story here.
I suspected that was part of it because baseball writers do the same thing, and I think they're able to vote for 10. Football may have been 3. And there are writers, baseball-wise, that felt the need to fill out their ballot and vote for people that they didn't want to see fall off, and sometimes at the expense of people they were convinced were going to have enough votes to get in without their vote, if that's not complicated enough. I mean, it certainly provides some fodder for all of the talk shows on ESPN and Fox, and for good reason. I mean, what he has done is Hall of Fame worthy, but there is a certain badge of honor that comes with being a first ballot Hall of Famer. And Phil, you and I probably understand the baseball nuances a little more than football. I don't think Joe DiMaggio was a first ballot Hall of Famer. I need to go back. I mean, there are people that were clearly some of the best players in baseball, and for whatever reason, the writers didn't want to give them an opportunity for that distinction or honor. But I felt like we were sort of getting away from that in certain regards. But I do think there probably are at least a couple of voters who didn't vote for him because they only had 3 votes, and they wanted to allocate those towards people they felt like needed them more.
Do you ever argue with a ball player about why writers are the ones who choose who's in the Hall of Fame, or at least the first filter as to who goes into the Hall of Fame? Because I had a lot of those arguments on minor league buses, and athletes don't like that, but that is the way things were set up. And it was set up like over close to 100 years ago because I think sports writers might have been viewed a little bit differently then by athletes than they are now.
I did argue with the Hall of Fame when I got a chance to visit in Cooperstown about maybe long-term team broadcasters needing to have a vote, Vin Scully, or, go down the list of some of these people. And there was always the thought, well, these guys are influenced because they're part of a team and they're not truly able to kind of pull themselves away from that. But the difference is it used to be sports writers would cover every game, and now no one does that. You cover 100 games and your backup covers 60 or 50. Some of those longtime voices are they're there every day. They're covering the teams. They're covering the players, and they're covering the athletes. And I believe maybe there would be an opportunity for a wider voting block of people that cover the game, not just those who are strictly writers. But, it's been that way for a long time, and change is always hard when it comes to things like that.
You got the lifetime membership to Cooperstown, right?
I do. I wish I could use it a little more, although my son's going to be with the AA Binghamton team this year, and it's about an hour and half hour, 20 from Cooperstown. So maybe I'll get to flash that card and get in sometime this year.
Yeah, it's worth it. That's for sure. Always appreciate you, Brett. Thanks. We'll see you at Bud Walton soon.
You know it. Take care.
Brett Dolan joins us every Thursday right here on Halftime. 877-377-6963 to jump on our Lewis Automotive Group hotline. And, of course, remember Valley Family Dental used to be Riley Farm Dental, and they're still where they've been all these years at the entrance to Riley Farm, providing every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family, from general dentistry, braces, implants, and cosmetics to same-day crowns and snore guards. You get a $300 discount off a snore guard if you mention that you heard about it on ESPN Radio. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and Dr. Blaine Van Nice, making sure that you leave with a better smile. You'll feel much more confident and have a comfortable experience every time at Valley Family Dental, 5901 Riley Farm Drive, Suite A, and at 226-3500, valleyfamilydentalpractice.com. Back into the home stretch of halftime right after this.
People ask, why did you press? Just to get in their legs. They're making every single shot. Let's make them run some and see if they can still make shots.
This is halftime. Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Taco Bell's new Lutz Value Menu has so much Lutz, it's starting to go to people's heads. I'm the Lutzierge.
Which is the mini taco salad fork?
Here to help them cope. So when you try the mini taco salad, beefy potato loaded griller, or chips and nacho supreme dip, enjoy the Lutz. Just don't let it go to your head.
Yeah, bring the car around.
You know there's no valet.
Then who's getting the car?
Taco Bell's new Lutz Value Menu. 10 extravagant indulgences, all $3 or less.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge. And when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
Does your Razorback closet need an upgrade? The University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you're looking for, only at Roback.com. They've custom designed the best hoodies, polos, and Q-zips for your school. Go check out this and more at Roback.com, and don't forget to use our link for 20% off. Use code RUSH25 at checkout on Roback.com for 20% off your first order. That's RHOBACK.com. 20% off all hoodies, joggers, and more with Rush 25. Roback, where action meets comfort.
Get 20% off on your first order with the code RUSH25.
There's nothing better than hitting a bet unless your whole crew hits it with you. That's what MyBookie's all about. Are you ready for the next 2 weeks of the NFL? We're hooking you up with 2 can't-lose locks of season. Bet up to $10 per lock and double your money when they hit. Select the Lock of Season tab in the sportsbook. Wager up to $10 per lock. Double your money on 4 bets that can't lose. Don't forget about the Bet Back bonus. Go to MyBookie now, punch in code HOGS, and get your first bet covered up to $500. If you don't hit on the first bet, just use your Bet Back bonus token and run it back. Must opt in to use the Bet Back bonus.
Dad, the driver looks dirty. You yucky, Daddy.
Hey, don't worry, boys. That's what we do best. At My Dreams Mo Wash, we make homes, businesses, and even big industrial spaces shine like new.
So you can clean houses and big buildings?
That's right. Residential, commercial, or industrial. No job's too big or too small. Call My Dreams Mo Wash today at 479-763-5561 or visit mjmowash.com.
My Junior's Mobile Wash. One call, cleans it all.
David Bowie got more fame with his #1 hit titled Fame. John Lennon co-wrote and sounded some of the high notes. The last line in the first verse sums it up. Fame puts you there where things are hollow. John 12:43 tells us that many people rejected Jesus because they loved the fame of people more than the praise of God. Is it any wonder you get more fame by rejecting the name of Jesus? I'm Pastor E. from Woodland. Think about it.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit could save you up to $600 off your tax bill.
Sleep on the beach and make it. Roll down the jam till it goes. Lay down the law and drink.
Make sure to follow Halftime on X at Hit That Line AR and on Facebook and Instagram at Hit That Line. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years. Since 1946, no pressure, no hassle, just tradition. The celebration starts now. Let's get back to the show with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Matt, I'm still blown away that the biggest fine on the Colorado football team has to do with social media misconduct. It'll cost you twice as much money to make a fool out of yourself on Instagram than it is to not go to practice or even just a violation of team rules, depending on what the rule is. $2,500 fine for violation of team rules and up to $5,000 fine for public or social media misconduct. It's nuts. But then again, it's like, I guess I still think of Colorado as a social media first football program. It's just you better get the message right, otherwise it's going to cost you $5,000.
Man,
fines for teams ought to be not necessarily you act like an idiot on social media, you should be fined for it. But I thought missing practice might, I don't know, matter more.
Well, to your teammates, you can't miss practice. There's a lot of jokers. There's a lot of clowns. You know, there's a lot of personalities. However you want to say it. I mean, you do have your artificial intelligence. You know, the first AI is Allen Iverson. The next AI is any quarterback. You know, like they just talking, and you're not really going to gain any information, but. Then you have some players that, you know, have a little personality and they have a good smile. They like to, I mean, there's other avenues to make money. So you kind of get it, kind of get the whole social media aspect of it.
Absent from practice. I don't know if there's anything that's quite as bad. You know, maybe sucker punching one of your teammates, gambling on the game you're playing in. That'd be a whole different thing. But just missing practice? Like where's Matt today? Where is he? We've got no explanation for this. There's no doctor's notes, nothing from mom or dad, nothing. He's just not here.
No Dean Weber.
Me, I don't know.
He was
that would get you brought
note.
into the office, and that's like, guess what? You're out of here.
You know what, Dean Weber? He's like, mental health. Go out there and play. We're not worried about mental health. Yeah.
I thought playing would help for mental health. Getting out there and running around.
Get your butt out there. You're fine.
$1,500 fine to be absent for treatment, $1,500 fine to be absent from strength and conditioning workout, absent from meeting or film session, $2,000, absent from practice, $2,500. I guess when you're making $1 million, because this is Colorado football, it's not going to, you're going to worry too much about $2,500. I don't know what it's like to make that much money. If I was fined $2,500 now, Matt.
It's a mortgage payment.
I'd have to go find a new job. That's exactly right. I'd be selling blood and plasma and other things. So it's a good thing I'm not a football player. I'd have shown up at practice. I'd have been a good tackling dummy.
You know, Phil, I could put on one hand my 4 years at Arkansas how many guys were no call, no shows or didn't. Like it just did. Coach doesn't keep you around. Like you're not you think Coach Calipari's keeping kids around if they didn't show up to practice? I don't think
or
so.
look like they care when they're there.
I don't. I mean, you jog. There was a coach that if you didn't get up and run to the scorer's table fast enough, he'd get mad at you. You know, like you got to go. Got to go.
Yeah, I saw baseball players get fined for not running out ground balls. Just a ground ball to shortstop. You're expected to run to first base as if you expect to beat that throw. And it was minor league baseball players were making $16,000, maybe $20,000 when I first got into it. And it's like, you're fining this guy $25?
Well,
that's a whole day of meal money for him. Well, then just run to first base.
Yeah,
That's
run
right.
to first base, bro. Like it's your teammates appreciate it. There's nothing more exciting than as far as making your teammates proud, having your teammates have your back. When you're a receiver And I got to live this a little bit, but when your quarterback is a little different, but you really appreciate the receivers that block downfield. You know, some guys I think it's kind of like that running out of ground ball. Like, sure, 97 out of 100 times they're going to throw you out. But there's a couple times so he bobbles, he double clutches, whatever. So you block downfield. I mean, there's just you gotta support your teammate. That goes a long way than not showing up for meetings.
And it's just a bad example to set for anybody that may be looking up to you that's on that bench. It's like watching a wide receiver that knows he's not an option on the play, so he didn't run the route. That'd be the same thing as not running out the routine ground ball to shortstop.
Only Randy Moss could get away with that. Like what we were talking about in a couple commercial breaks ago is like, if you're going to be a clown, you better hit like Barry Bonds. So like if you, the only person I know that had a hall pass to not run a route when it wasn't getting the ball was Randy Moss, is because when he did run a route, you couldn't guard him.
Yeah, he also was allowed. But did he get fined for the whole thing where he faked that he pulled his pants down in front of the Packers fans?
Straight cash, homie.
You're allowed to do that when you're Randy Moss.
Straight cash.
That's like watching.
No,
Ricky
I don't
Henderson.
have Cash App. No, I don't have Venmo. No, I don't have any of that stuff.
It's like watching Ricky Henderson back in the day. This is what we were talking about. You remember watching Ricky, and he did this with the A's and the Yankees. And he's out there in left field, and it's a routine can of corn coming his way. And, of course, there's a very easy way to catch a fly ball, but then there's the Ricky way to catch a fly ball. Smack that glove on your thigh 3 or 4 times, and then reach up and snatch it out of the air like nobody's ever caught a ball before. But he was the only one ever allowed to do it because he was that good. No one's going to find Ricky if he dropped that fly ball. Then again, Ricky put a $1 million check on the wall and didn't even put it into the bank, so it's a whole different thing.
That's an amazing story right there. When the front office comes to you, 14 months after they gave you that check, and they're like, hey, we're off of like $1.2 million. We noticed that we gave you $1.2 million, and are you going to, no, it's on my
you mean
wall.
That was real? I think maybe at that point you can fine the player for not cashing the check.
90 days, right? 180 days, whatever, yeah.
Let's say this. If you have $1 million check and you didn't cash it and it's 180 days later, you probably should be giving up 10% of that thing.
That just
makes probably already anyway.
It just makes me like Ricky Henderson that much more. Just like, man, what a G.
Scott says $2,500 is a kidney. I got 2 kidneys. I guess I need at least one of them. But a kidney is a practice at Colorado football. How do you like that? Which means social media misconduct. That's going to cost you 2 kidneys, Scott. And no one's playing football with no kid. Even with 1 kidney, I don't think you'd be playing football. Yes, BE. Now, I don't know what Colorado does with the fine money, but all of the minor league teams that I worked for, when they had fines, and by the end of the season, and this wasn't the case with all the teams I worked for. It was the good teams. The crappy teams, no, they didn't get a pizza party. They just gave fine money, and that was pretty much donated to a local charity. The good teams, yeah, we had a party by the end of the season, preferably after a game with no game the next day. That's exactly what that fine money is for. And $25 here and there over the course of a 5-month season, yeah, that adds up to a pretty fun party occasionally, not all the time. 877-377-6963, Lewis Automotive Group hotline. We've had trouble getting our calls on the air today, but a lot of texts have been coming in.
We didn't have a single phone call today, did we? Have we had a phone call today?
We had people text in saying they hadn't been able to get through, that it was busy. It was busy signals. So yeah.
That's been going on for about 3 weeks now. That's cool.
3 weeks into the year 2026, so you never quite know what happens when you cross that calendar threshold from December to January.
Well, we apologize for the listeners and people that want to call in and be a part of the show, because we do appreciate it. It's just sometimes you go 0-8.
But the text line works, so that's more like 2 and 6. At least part of it works.
Games. There you go.
Yes, the text. Yeah, this is a win over Arkansas State and Alabama. That's right. See, and there's the one that ended. This is different. That's different. finding players for, this and that is different from kangaroo court. So, did you have kangaroo court in football, Matt, or basketball?
Well, there's a hierarchy. Is that what you mean? Like, there's something?
Well, it would be I walk into a clubhouse and all the players are sitting at their chairs at their locker, and there's one player who is given the opportunity to be the judge, and he's wearing one of those little like fake barrister wigs, and he's got something that is he's going to use a bat as the gavel, of course. And he's just basically finding players this and that for everything. Like, yeah, you over there. Remember you, Bobby? You remember when you were in the on-deck circle 2 weeks ago? I caught you checking out that girl in the second row. Yeah, that's $50 right there. And they don't have any choice. They just have to fork it over. That's kangaroo court, where you have no way to defend yourself against any of the charges, and you just better come with your pocket open.
All the rookies, I know that you have things you got to do, but after you have a little tenure, if it's
good, kangaroo court is for the rookies. Oh, Graham's got a good one. Matt, how much is the fine for watching Polar Express at halftime?
Oh, we might have to freeze your bank account on that one. Frozen.
I was waiting for somebody to bring that up. I was absolutely waiting for somebody to bring that one up. I'm surprised it took that long. All right, we got a break. Before we do that, remember rowback.com when you're thinking about Razorback gear for you and your friends and your family. Stuff that you won't find anywhere else. Really fresh polos, hoodies, Q-zips in the Razorback Game Day collection. You go to rowback.com, use the code RUSH25 at checkout, get 20% off your first order. RHOBACK.com. Rowback, where action meets comfort. We'll be back in a moment and wrap up halftime.
Brazil comes to set a screen, pick and pop. Trevin for three from the right wing, and he just drained another one.
This is halftime.
Looking for a fence that stands out and stands strong? Call the Fence Man, 479-782-3936. Serving the Fort Smith area for over 40 years, the Fence Man builds custom, one-of-a-kind fences, residential, commercial, and high security. Need automatic gates? The Fence Man does it. Need financing? You got it. 18-month financing is available. Get your free quote today at thefencemanar.com. or call 479-782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
Hey, Ty Richardson for A Cut Above Lawn and Landscaping. Does your yard need to be serviced in the fall and winter months? Of course. A Cut Above is with you every step of the way. Whether it's commercial or residential, A Cut Above can handle all your needs. Tree service, stump grinding, brush hog, full landscaping. Plus, A Cut Above can take care of all your leaf removal.
Call or text today at 479-719-5605.
That's A Cut Above, 719-5605.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text AREA to 42424 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text AREA to 42424. That's AREA to 42424.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Smalls here. Life is full of choices, some big, some small. And when you choose an H&R Block Tax Pro, you're choosing the largest network of tax expertise to be in your corner. For when your big ambitions need help with the small details. For when your six figures come from 6 different places. For when your gaming stream becomes your revenue stream. For when your business's year one needs 70 years of tax know-how. At H&R Block, they've seen it all, and they're here to help you make the most out of your money for life outside the box. Get started at HRBlock.com.
The Internet, a place where your curiosity can flourish. Unless malware gets in the way. It's a place that can surprise you. With phishing websites and trackers. The Internet is wonderful, but you must protect yourself online. Protect yourself online with NordVPN. TechRadar named it the #1 VPN in 2025. A single NordVPN account secures up to 10 devices. What else? This cybersecurity tool also encrypts your browsing. NordVPN's Threat Protection Pro feature helps you block malware, avoid phishing, and stop digital trackers. NordVPN scans the dark web to check that the information associated with your email address is not exposed. Just a few clicks and you're safer online. Browse with more peace of mind. Get the best deal at NordVPN.com.
Hey, it's Rich Eisen for Pella Windows and Doors. Sometimes teams take a time out to regroup and call the right play. When it comes to your home, Pella Windows and Doors always has the winning game plan. They do it every day, and that's why your neighbors trust them. Visit Pella.com/Eisen today. Right now, Pella Windows and Doors of Arkansas and Southwest Missouri is offering 50% off installation or no interest if paid in full until 2027. Some restrictions may apply. See store for details. Offer ends January 31st, 2026.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963. Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
All right, this has been fun today, guys. Yeah, a lot of fun today. We had Bobby Wernes from Arkansas Baseball. We had Dudley Dawson. We had Brett Dolan. All of that will be on the Eastside Liquor Halftime podcast coming out in just a few minutes, thanks to the C Unit. Ruskin and Zach getting set. Take you for the next few hours here on ESPN Arkansas. And let's see here, Matt. I got basketball tonight. Arkansas against LSU in Baton Rouge. LSU is obviously one of the better teams in the country. They are the highest scoring team in the nation, averaging 99 points per game, ranked 6th in the AP, 5th in the coaches poll, 5th net ranking at 19-2. And LSU today, let me just double check this from the last time I looked at it. On the Bet Saracen app, you can download from the App Store from your iPhone, Android users, Google Play, BetSaracen.com online. LSU is favored by 42.5 points, which I'm pretty sure is the largest line I've ever seen in an SEC game. So hopefully that doesn't go according to plan tonight. We'll get back late tonight. And then tomorrow, I think I'll just do the show at the hotel. I'd love to be at a baseball scrimmage tomorrow, Matt, but they can't do it in the afternoon, so they'll do it at night again. And then tomorrow, we just got to get ready for this basketball games. I think we gotta try to encapsulate all the excitement and try not to let the roof blow off too early. And I think tomorrow gotta do a lot of hoops.
Yeah, man. Let's delve into this Kentucky basketball game. I'm ecstatic. I'm excited. I'm ready. I get to do the post game show. I think it's with 45, and so looking forward to it, man. Saturday is going to be cool, and then it's just going to be a total opposite next Saturday at 11 a.m. in Starkville. But man, enjoy this. This is why you come to Arkansas to play in games like this. That it's going to be rocking, man. Are you going to go to the game Saturday up in Fayetteville?
I would just end up. I don't have a ticket, but I do have my regular pass to get in. Won't have a seat, but who needs one? Really?
I mean, I wouldn't mind going. It's just a little too crowded for me. But like, if you're going up there, man, enjoy, because every year is not going to be like this. You're not going to have a team like this every single year. So enjoy it, man. Go up there, and I don't know if I'm believing in this team as a Final Four team just yet, but I like them. I like this team. Like the defense, our defense is atrocious at times. You're not going to make a Final Four if you can't play defense. But I think in their mind, they're going to flip a switch. I think they think that. I think other teams think that too. lately it seems like when we flip a switch, we win all these close games, right? Like when you see us kind of flip it, we win. In March Madness, it's crazy. Other teams can flip it too. So what a good barometer.
One of those teams. I think Kentucky also, Matt, is one of those teams that feels they can just flip a switch. I saw a stat a couple of days ago after their blowout loss at Vandy, which was their 8th road game. In 7 of the 8 games they've played on the road, Kentucky has trailed by at least 17 points.
Most athletic team that the Hogs have played in conference this year will be Kentucky. I think Houston's the most. I didn't see him play Duke. Houston, I think, is the most athletic team the Hogs have played this year. Kentucky will be the most athletic team that the Hogs have played in conference play this year.
So let's touch on a lot of that tomorrow when we reconvene for halftime on a Friday here in ESPN Arkansas. That'll do it for today. Great stuff from the guys. And for Matt and the unit, I'm Phil. Thanks for tuning in. Now go have yourself a Thursday.
Valley Family Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, same-day crowns, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients a better life with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A at the entrance to Riley Farms. Let them know you heard this on ESPN Radio and receive $300 off a snore guard. Valley Family Dental, 479-226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
Precision Garage Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all your garage door needs, including garage door repair and new garage doors and openers. Fully licensed and insured with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call Precision Garage Door today at 844-PDS-DOOR or check them out online at PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Financing is available. Precision Garage Door, voted best garage door company of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
Here's to you and yours from the friendly folks at In Good Spirits, your upscale liquor store in Fort Smith. At In Good Spirits, they've got what your taste buds are craving, including
Mic check. Is that because of that? Maybe. That was kind of strange. I don't remember if it's usually happens. The switch. Is that one?
The weather is brought to you by Colorworks. Whether it's the weather or just light, call Andy at Colorworks Paint and Body.
You have a switch going out on here.
This is halftime, coming to you from the Crabtree RV Studios.
Okay. Two things. You're way better. Now you're kind of loud. Mike, come on. This thing's pickup is radical now. That's kind of wild. Okay. And nope. Don't like that at all. Much better. Okay. So 2 things. The minus 15 pad got turned on. It's just a button. It could have just got bumped.
Oh, is it on this thing over here?
Yeah, it's on this. It's this lower one. It might have just got hit. It's
Okay.
Yeah. Also, this knob, I guess something internally must have been dirty because it was weird at first, and then when I started moving it around, it finally cleared up and went back to normal. Yeah. So it might even be a little bit too loud at the moment. Yeah, it was right here. It might have just got hit. Who knows? I'm gonna look at this cord.
Yeah, it's like
discounts. The Crane team simply can't be beat. Shop Arkansas's largest selection of Buick, GMC, Ford, Chevy, Hyundai, Kia, Volkswagen.
Test. Oh, it's loud. Testing 1 2 testing. Yeah, a lot better.